welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today at the outset of the matches for Unified Premier Minor League. We're talking about Virginia Tech B team versus Cali Cartel. But before that, let me do the honors. My name is Proof, and I'm joined here on the casting desk with Thousand Eyes. How are we feeling today, Thousand Eyes?
I am feeling great. I am feeling excited. Both these teams, 1-1, gonna be a very close match. Because man, they have both played OES and they have both lost in a 2-1. This is going to be two teams that should be very closely matched, and hopefully that means we're gonna go all the way to a 3-game series.
Yeah, three-game series, or what we might have in store here, right? The Cartels on the one side, they're looking on to start aggressive. This is the fight for second place, essentially, right? The Oblivions in their group are the top dogs, and I guess the runner-ups would be either this team or that. But tonight, the story will unfold. With that said, Thousand Eyes, what kind of meta picks are you looking forward to here? What is kind of like your go-to here in the meta? What you've been liking watching as just a viewer and a caster?
I mean, right now, the big thing is that Amumu support that has been kind of catching fire all around.
Mhm.
I think Echo Jungle has also been seeing a rise since the buffs. He's also kind of been just really potent in EU solo queue. So I'm sure a lot of these teams are taking note of that and trying that out. Specifically for these teams, though, Shen and Ornn are some pretty high priority picks for their top laners. Ornn specifically is something that they have played in competitive games, and I'm thinking they're either going to look to ban or take away early.
All right, so top picks already. Research has been done. We're just going to have to see what they bring in store for us today. I mean, it's going to be really exciting. I like to see a close series, although, just looking at teams and the meta picks and stuff like that, we always see like just random picks coming in and changing the whole thing and just offsetting the meta, offsetting the team comps. Are we going to expect to see something like a pocket pick here today, something we're not expecting to see?
I mean, okay, so Cali Cartel's mid laner does play a lot of Ziggs in the mid lane, which is not where you generally will see him in nowadays meta. But that is something that I have seen a lot of teams ban away.
Hmm.
Yoshishi also has been spamming a lot of the Jacks currently. Just I went through his OPGG and just like tons and tons of Jacks and a lot of successful pop off games. So that
Yeah.
really is kind of be the big things that I'm looking for there. On the other side, though, I didn't see anything. I mean, Yamidasu does have the Zillion and the Gianna. Those are the two big picks for them.
Hmm.
Zevil generally playing those more supportive mids, Oriana, Seraphine. So that's kind of what I'm looking for from VT.
And all right, I think we'll be on their way shortly here. But in the meantime, though, like you said, the the Jax is definitely a top contender. It'd be really interesting. You want to ping everybody on Twitter and or just in Discord, be like, "Yo, we have a Jax game today. Just come and watch it." I mean, that's how. Like, I'm dying to see a Jax game here at this competitive level. With that said, 30 seconds, I believe, or so for the draft to be started.
Yeah, we should be getting underway fairly shortly. And like I said, keep your eyes on that orange. See if people are going to be taking that away, if they're going to be looking to do that, use that, grab that away. Uh, I know what priority these teams are going to try and put on it, but it definitely seems like something they're going to be high on.
And here we are. All right, VTB definitely picking to go on the blue side here. CC over on the red. We'll see like priority picks coming through here. We might expect, like you said, the Ornn and whatnot. There's other things to look out for here, but it's just going to ultimately rely on them positioning themselves in the picks and drafts. So what's going to be going through here and what's going to be off the table is the interesting to watch. Mhm. Oh. Yeah, not normally your meta type pick. On the other side, you got the Graves also saying goodbye. kind of a marksman tendency here for the junglers are both bad. So that's interesting to watch. Like we said, you know, the Kindred does kind of do a lot for the team. It's really good against the Karthus as well. I really think about the Kindred as that kind of a supportive as well as doing a lot of that damage. So it does help the team all in all. You got the second ban coming through. It's going to be this. The Shen Stand United is going to be off the table as well. What do you make of that? Mhm.
That is why I unfortunately was muted for a second. Apologies on that, but yeah, the Shen I'm not surprised to see taken away, because that just is Yoshishi spamming the crap out of it right there. And I'm sure their analysts took a look at that and said, like, all right, take that off the board. We do not want to deal with that. Jax is easier to deal with as a champion than somebody like Shen, who could just show up out of nowhere and ruin your team fight.
Yeah, the Jarvan has been a top pick for a lot of teams. It's the early on skirmish is really strong. You go towards the mid lane, it's really awesome to see that mid lane and jungle synergy a lot of the times. And teams would then have to rely kind of not all their eggs in one basket, but they do have the tendency to play towards the early game rather the late game, especially when they're piloting the Jarvan.
Yeah, Jarvan also just has been a very strong jungler as of late, has incredible early game potency, and really loves to make those early ganks while still scaling decently in the late game with a lot of the wombo combo styles that have been coming through. VT kind of going through a couple of different picks here, the Echo being hovered, like we said, really popular jungle pick right now, and the Ezreal also being covered, and that will be locked in. A nice, safe, solid 8 carry picked up for VT.
Yeah, there it is. The Ezreal, the passive 80 carry, though it is a really good marksman for the bot lane. If you do want to have that lane a little bit locked and loaded, you don't have to really worry about it too much. You could have a Yuumi, right? That was the standard. Now you could have other options here as well, as we might expect on the side of VTB and Enchanter support, or like we see on the CC side of things, they're locking in, loading in the Nautilus here for going on an all-out team fight. And the Varus is going to be the duo. So interesting duo here for the Cartels, or rather the Cali Cartel.
I mean, really interesting too, because if that is a Varus lock-in, Knight of the Zed had a crazy game against OES, and it is not going to be. They baited us. This is why we don't talk about hovers. It is the Nautilus and the Jhin picked up. Yeah. And that one still tracks though, because the Knight of the Zed is pretty comfortable on that Jhin. The Nautilus is a solid blind pick as a support, and it also fits just, you know, generally it is Nor that is playing the tankier types of supports, and you're going to see more of the enchanters on VT's side.
Thousand Eyes, this is going to be an Evelynn game. Hello, VT Desire locking that champion. This is kind of odd to see. I wasn't expecting this at all, you know, given the fact that you see the Mumu ban. Evelynn is definitely a total shift from that and a different type of playstyle. Definitely looking to gank maybe bot lanes that do have that CC. On the top lane is going to be locked and loaded. Set is going to be our champion that's going to be piloted by Seville here.
Yeah, most likely going to be going up in that top side for HP Gamer. But I'm really surprised to see the Evelynn. Generally, when you see stuff like this, it is pointing to they want 280 solo laners. You're maybe looking at a Zed. You're maybe looking at, you know, some kind of mid lane that is attack damage focused, where you have some sort of AP threat still in the jungle, but you still have the Echo up. You know, the Lilia is still around. Those are two very solid kind of competitively meta champions that you generally will see over something like an Evelynn, which is very feast or famine. Desire is really going to have to make a strong early game presence to make this pick work.
Yeah, also, you know, with the Evelynn comes the charm, so you do have that tendency to set up for ganks quite well. You know, obviously other champions or other heavy CC champs would have been a better option. The Echo, like you mentioned there, Thousand Eyes, like it's definitely a good option here as well to assassinate the Jhin, who is going to have a lot of appeal from the Nautilus, and the Lee Sin will have that W available. You know, anytime you want to go on this Jhin, it might be a hard time. And obviously with the Desire going stealth mode on the Evelynn could maybe result in early kills. We don't really know for now. It's like they say, you know, hindsight is 2020, but definitely against the Lee Sin, it could be problematic. Early on, they're both kind of good.
Yeah, the Lee Sin is a really solid pick too into the Evelynn, just because of that the ability to see when you get those abilities hit on her, and just kind of bully her in the early game. Now, the bans here, Seraphine and Orianna very much taking a shot at Zevyl's supportive style mid lane and not allowing for those safe supportive mid laners to come through. The LeBlanc and the Azir are banned away for VTB. That one's just kind of taken away aggression. So you can see very clearly what these mid laners favor and what they don't want to deal with here, as the Karma and the Tahm Kench are locked in now. That is going to be a Tahm Kench top lane, as we are going to be waiting on that final pick from Cali Cartel.
Yeah, you know, looking over here, Cali Cartel deciding to go with the Lee Sin, like we talked a little bit about that, right? The Lee Sin, I think they've also been practicing a lot of that Kindred, right? That got banned. And then now the Lee Sin, I don't really know. Whatever it is it though? Wow, that is actually... That is crazy. So you got to ping everybody right now, Thousand. We have to let everybody know. Where's Twitter? Where's dude? God. Just watch what this game has in store. It has Singed. It has Evelynn, which just took me by surprise as well. Not gonna lie, I mean the Evelynn was already surprising enough, but on top of that, you're telling me there's gonna be a Singed game? Not even in solo queue. Do 5v5 custom. I mean, for this league. So already top-notch content coming your way.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I am actually really excited about this now, because I love watching Singed gameplay because it makes everyone else look like a complete and utter fool. And that is always fun for me to watch from a competitive standpoint. Just everybody running around, just not following the one big rule of League of Legends, which is don't follow Singed, don't chase him. And just what havoc can be wreaked here. There's a lot of strong kind of early game pressure here. You've got the Singed that can run around in the backline there to kind of proxy farm early on. The Lee Sin can support that as well, where the Evelynn is not really capable of doing the same thing without a lot of extra help from the team.
Yeah, looking at both these teams objectively, right? What is kind of that one thing that stands out? I mean, at least to me, when I look at it, yes, there's a Singed. Yes, you mentioned, there's a lot of things to watch out for. And personally, I'm going to look to see where the junglers are going to be ganking, what lanes they're going to be prioritizing here. And with that said, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the outset of the match between VTB and Cali Cartels. Obviously, this is going to be the first game, and we're about to see how that pans out. Though, before that, let me do the honors of introducing myself and my colleague. I am joined here on the casting desk with Thousand Eyes. My name is Proof, and we're excited to be here.
Yeah, a nice aggressive move here with the Singed. And when you run something like the Nautilus and the Singed, if Singed wants to, he can take the flip, throw him into the Nautilus here. This is a nice aggressive move. I like the counter invade here. If you can see on the map, Set going in, trying to get some vision on that red buff so they can track that Lee Sin early on. That's going to be a nice start around, but it's just a trade of vision right now for both teams.
Yeah, it just looks like no 5 points, your traditional star, right, where it ensures that you're not getting ganked. And I don't think they're going to spot out anybody here in particular, as you see the top side start for the Evelynn, which is, in my opinion, is a strong start for her because she's going to be pathing towards the bot lane. That Karma and Ezreal don't have a lot of CC, but definitely she could have a lot of options. And
I don't think she's going to be pathing bot. Because they should be aware of the fact that the Lee Sin is taking that buff. You can see Little Piggy Man did start that E on the Singed to flip him. But yeah, should be just a vertical jungle right now, which very much does favor this Lee Sin, because the aggression that could come out on this bot side at any point now, and Evelynn will not be anywhere near to help out. That is really helpful for Nahor to play very aggressively. Be this annoying Nautilus here is several. Here we go. This is Singed gameplay.
Flip already. Already starting things strong. You see the top lane is going to be a bully in favor, right, of course, the Tom Kench here. HB Gamer on that champion. You see little Piggy Man. All right, this is shenanigans here, flipping him under the turret. The Haymaker coming out early there as well. We're seeing Evelyn do a full top clear and then heading towards... I don't know why she's heading towards bot. Maybe to go for a gank. Not really too sure.
So the reason she's heading bot is because they should have known that the Lee Sin was going on the turret's top side. I believe he was seen there. And Evelyn knows that if Lee Sin is top, that fight is not going to work out. Gonna try and take the other blue buff. So it is going to be just a trade of buffs, just in a weird sense that... there's going to be two. Oh, she can't get it. Yeah, they knew it. They pinged it out and they wanted to go for it. Very smart movement there by both Over8 and Lil Piggy Man.
And you see the bot lane. Everything looks familiar here as well. The jungling has been kind of the variable that's been left out. A different playstyles as well. We just saw the mid lane. They're going at it as well. 3 minutes. No ganks to be had yet. The Lee Sin, as you see, might be able to get that bot side scuttle crab. While I think Evelyn's making her way towards the top side.
Yeah, and they should know that bot lane has not had a chance to ward. They only just got the wave pushed out. Evelyn is coming topside for an early gank.
There's that TP.
Singed TP.
Yeah, Singed TP over there as well. Gonna alleviate some of that pressure that comes out from the Evelyn. As you see, that TP is gonna be down in the mid lane, and Zevil is definitely gonna have an advantage in that regard.
Yeah, that's a major win there just off that gank. Is another gank happening bot side.
Oh, two's company, three's a crowd here. Here comes the Lee Sin, and that is going to be the first blood, ladies and gentlemen. Cali Cartel starting off strong.
Yeah, and that's once again just because of that early push there. Over8 still going. Okay, no, just gonna be a little bit of pressure. The early pressure from the Jhin and the Nautilus, they're able to shove in that lane early. And once Karma and Ezreal did get the shove pressure and push that lane up, they noticed that there was no ward placed from either Autumn or Tree. They did not put any wards in that river bush, which just gave a free gank over as long as the flash is being committed from Nahor.
As you can see now, that's going to be, I guess, a running start for Over8 at this point, right? Desire tried to gank top lane, didn't go well. The TP was burned by a little Piggy Man there to alleviate that pressure. But, you know, on the other hand, on the flip side, you got Over8 now invading on the Raptors with little Piggy Man around the corner. Yeah, that's just bullying the Evelyn right out of her jungle.
And this is kind of the fear and why you don't really see a lot of Evelyn in coordinated play, because she can be bullied very hard by a team that is working together. And because this is a Singed who can just do what he is now doing and shove that lane hard and just roam around with this Lee Sin, it makes clearing and getting to that crucial level 6 point on the Evelyn so tough. She's not going to be able to farm safely. She's constantly worried about the Lee Sin, and the lack of pressure here means that they are going to start bleeding out dragons. They're going to have to risk bleeding out the Rift Huns. So a lot of early game pressure is being lost, with the hope that this level 6 Evelyn is going to be able to make a play using that invisibility.
Yeah, a lot of pressure mounting here, but, you know, still not the worst case scenario here. The top side is definitely getting some damage on this side of VTB. They have at least somewhat of a scaling bot lane, right? They do have that disengage as well. The arcane shift, very, very useful for the Ezreal not to get caught out. So they do have some advantages going for them in this game. They're nearly not out of the park yet. But as you can see, the pressure is definitely going to start building up. And Zevil here under.
What are you?
Rocking a hard place. His back is against the wall. Going to get flipped right in the showstopper. Going to alleviate that, though. The Haymaker throwing down a lot of damage on little Piggy Man. Running away with his life, and he's back to safety. But around the corner comes the Tom Kench. He's going to look for a play here. I don't think they're going to commit. They left this Ezreal solo bot. Should also be careful.
Yeah, you saw just one of the interactions there with the Singed. You get the flip. If Set has that ult, he can just grab you and you know, counter throw you.
Just like that. Just like on the haymaker with the flash finds it and right in his face. Even if you box well, you cannot stop those blows. 1 for 1 so far on the map. BTB are back in it.
Yeah, and a great play by Zevil there to not only survive that kill, but also just flashing at just the right time to match up with Lil Piggy Man, get that kill and the extra damage off the W. And you can see just even with the prio that Lil Piggy Man has been able to get, there's not been a focus on actually getting the last hit there. It is 52 to 33 in that mid lane, and there is not a lot of gold being gained by this Singed. They're trying to utilize this pressure, and it did work out early on, but now Set's starting to get a little bit scary.
It's almost as if it's backfiring, you know? It's almost as if it's backfiring just because the lineup from BTB, they're playing overly aggressive. They're investing a lot of resources to that mid lane, and as you can see now, finally, the support is back in lane. The Singers around the corner. Are they going to go for a dive here?
Yeah.
Here comes the curtain call. Uh-oh. This could be problematic. And now Singe is going to be diving the TP play though in the bot lane. And Nahor gets rooted up, knocked up, and he'll go back to the fountain. You see Little Piggy Man is in trouble to flip. That target tree is getting really low. Going to go down. Go back to the fountain. Over raid. Gets instantly traded HP Gamer around the corner for the save.
Y'all are chasing the sea.
Oh no! No, the W finds the target. That's a good marksman right there if I've ever seen one. Knight of the Zed with the first kill on the map.
Yeah, Knight of the Zed finally getting something going there, and Lil Piggy Man just doing what Singe does best here. Oh my god.
Yeah,
this is exactly what I was hoping to see here. Just the aggression from this Singed, going for those tower dives, just running circles around people and not letting them get away. Just baiting people into fights that they cannot win. A great TP by HP Gamer. I do want to call that out because it did keep Autumn alive. TP down there, used the Devour to keep the Karma alive and bought a lot of extra time, which is why that was actually a trade instead of just a straight up loss for them.
Yeah, that TP definitely, he invested it in a really good play. Although that W by the Knight of the Zed really put a dent to Autumn there. He got caught out, second death for Autumn. And with that said, Tree has a lot of weight to carry at this point, right? Going into the Jhin and not the easiest task of all. Your lane is definitely going to get pushed into you. But, you know, it's back and forth here between the AD carries. We'll see what Tree could do here in this game. As you see, Zevil is trading in the mid lane. It's a lot of damage on Lil Piggy Man.
Yeah, but he's Singed. You get the ult, and that damage doesn't matter. You just heal it back up. You push R, you drink a little potion, and you're good to go.
Yeah, he's the first champion to actually be designed by Riot, which is fun to see. And now a fight breaks out on Yoshishi, gets caught out, and on the cannon is looking very low on HP. That's going to be the last of him. Lil Peggy on the getaway. Autumn is around the corner as well. Tom Ken's going to get that kill. HP Gamer on the offensive. Nope, they're not going to commit further because Lil Piggy Man has all the movement speed he needs. And around the corner, here comes Nahor. Is he baiting for a dive here? He's not really showing himself yet. Now they do spot him out eventually. A lot of plating is secured by VTB, and now the dredge line. Zevil has to watch out. You got to respect the flip and the dredge line. And the haymaker. Wait a minute, though. Retaliation by Zevil, but to no avail. He actually just goes down there without a fight, and now here comes in around the corner with a flank. HP Gaming looking very low. Here comes Knight of the Zed. This is not looking that good for VTB. They are definitely on a 3v3, but they are tendering it around just because of that Evelyn. The huge Devour coming through. HP Gamer. Thick Skin used, and Thick Skin will survive. There it is. I guess that was a worth trade. Not really too sure. Actually, no. What do you think about that, Thousand Eyes?
I mean, overall, that is favorable for BTB when you look at the grand scheme of things. They stop that Rift Herald. They get a bunch of kills off of it because they immediately collapse. Unfortunately, got a little too aggressive. Ooh, Autumn might be caught.
Yeah, Autumn definitely is spotted. The W does not land. Zevil on the offensive. TP play. Here comes Knight of the Zed. And a great spot to go for this. Little Piggy Man with the movement speed. They're going to really dial in. Oh, it's going to be the support. No, actually, it's going to be the jungler who flashes away over raid. Getting caught out. Gore Drinker doing some damage. The dredge lane goes wide.
Oh, he wants
it misses
so
by
bad.
an inch. Oh, no. Here comes Tom Kench turning things around. VTB showing up out of nowhere, and the damage is there, and it's pouring on in. Now we're on the getaway. The dredge line is going to be good, but gets knocked out by HP Gamer. Oh no, not like this. 9-4. BTB are definitely on a steamroll at this point.
Yeah, solo lanes are just carrying this game right now. Zevil and HP Gamer, you don't usually think about a Tom Kench being a carry, but they're both just putting out massive amounts of damage and soaking up so much as well. A lot of work is also being done by this Karma. The amount of times that they have not been able to confirm kills because of these Karma shields has been huge. And I actually really want to see somebody get the Serpent's Fang to try and cut down those shields as quick as possible, because it's very quickly becoming a problem that needs to be answered.
Here comes the curtain call, trying to catch out the tree here. Okay, he's in
Fancy
trouble. Arcane Shift. Was it going to be actually used?
You can't dodge that.
Yeah, that's undodgeable. Gets kicked back to Sonic Wave. Core Drinker. It's just going to be GG there for Tree. For now, at least, right? HP Game over the top side, trying to make something happen on the 1v1 on Yoshi. She uses the ultimate. Thick Skin used a little bit early on there, but I guess that was a worth trade for the Kennen, but you don't want to overlook the fact that now Set is going for the dive.
It's not.
If it was just a 1v1, maybe, but he might get the kill, actually. He's going for it. Yeah, just the fact that Set was around the corner, that was not looking that good for the Kennen.
Yeah, still not.
He goes all out. The showstopper right to the face. The Haymaker is going to be the ability that gets him the kill. And there it is. Set off the running star. 5-1 and 3 for him.
Hold on. We have some Singed gameplay coming in.
Coming in hot. Coming in hot. HP Gamer does get flipped back, but Zevil is here for the E for the CC. But the Haymaker does not find the target. Little Piggy Man does not have a lot of mana. You have to find that out the hard way. He does not do anything there besides just put some pressure off. Tree on the roam. They're going to go for this.
With over 8.
Oh, Sonic Wave missed. So now it's a 1v2. The Haymaker going to buy some more time for Zevil. Is he going to get flipped to Doom here? No. Yep. Oh,
he
that
missed
was a
it.
nice devour. Yeah, he missed it as Zevil is here. Oh, no, not like this. Every time they try to get back in it, it's not really favoring them at this point. CC, they're in a huge way. They're behind at this point. Now her gets caught out, and that's going to be the kill. Desire for the second one in the game.
Yeah, and just once again, just the baits from all of this. The Haymaker, the Thick Skin, they constantly are going for these fights, but the shields and the healing coming through are way too much for a Singed and a Lee Sin to be able to break through. I thought Zevil was going to get caught out there with that Devour not sending him over the wall, but just got over 8 and Little Piggy Man down before that could become a problem. Rift Herald gonna be taken here by this Evelynn. Right now, BTB have complete control of this map, running with about a 5,500 gold lead. Very much being put into these solo lanes. You can see, especially this mid lane, it is 7,800 gold on this set versus 4,000 on the Singed. That's a massive difference, and a little bit of a mid gap.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap. I mean, you could say a little bit or a huge amount of gap. I think personally here, just watching this game has been really, really interesting. I wasn't expecting this to go in favor of VTB so early on, just because of that cinch. But like you were saying early on, Thousand Eyes, that these things go in the favor of one or the other. Depends how they play it. A little Piggy Man here on the turret, definitely trying to pick up some side lane gold lead. Right, trying to get back into the game. Favorable trades, I think you can't even argue that the turret down for that last play could even make up for it.
Yeah, and I mean, part of that whole issue with the early game from Cali Cartel, they tried really hard to shut this Evelynn down, and they got a little bit, but when you're committing that much to the point where you are running something like a Singed mid, you need to get more out of it than just a kill and trading evenly in solo lanes right now, because of that, they've been able to get this set in a real good spot.
Speaking of real good spot, it's a 1v3. Little Piggy Man is out. Number says good night. Look at the huge amount of rotations coming through. Are they fast enough to get back to the mid lane here to save the turret? As around the corner, here comes Tom Kench. Gale Force is completed. on a Knight of Zed. And here comes Tahm Kench for the stop. He is able to maybe just put them off the turret for the time being. As around the corner comes Tree as well, finding the Q damage. Are they going to commit on this? As Tree is going all out, the movement speed is there. Autumn is around the corner as well, but over Raid could hop over the wall here for the Sonic Wave. This could be dangerous. Devour goes down. Tree is safe, has to flash out of there. Over Raid. Curtain Call is finding that damage and is pouring on in, and that is going to be the turret over the bot side, it looks like. HP Gamer is here with the... Oh, wait a minute! Desire out of nowhere, the huge flank there. Say good night. And here comes another team fight, maybe. Are they really committing? You got to respect that damage. You have to respect that damage. Knight of Zed finds the Q there for the kill. The showstopper right to the back, and that is going to be the kill. So that's a 2-for-1 quickly in the favor of VTB.
Yeah, just constant aggression going down. And still, Zevel and HP Gamer surviving for so long. Tree able to survive for a long time. Autumn as well, getting kicked in and still living through all of that. All they lose at the end of the day is that Ezreal, who is really not critical to this composition right now. He is doing some damage. He's not bad, but Zevel and HP Gamer are just running the show right now. And there's nothing Cali Cartel have that could do anything about it. It is all burst. You know, you look at the composition they built. Kennen, Lee Sin, Singed is building mostly tank here, does not have any damage and is very far behind. And then a Jhin, like, Tahm Kench loves this. He never dies to these champions.
Yeah, it's going to be such a prolonged fight. I mean, at this point, what is really the thing to build? Because I know usually against tanks and fighters, you want to go Nashor's Tooth. I mean, that's just a shot in the dark at that point. Lee Sin definitely swaying away from that. The burst damage that you talked about here, definitely something to note. As Tahm Kench against the Jhin, who with the Gale Force, you're really hard to pin him down at this point.
Yeah, like I said, I really want to see somebody get a Serpent's Fang for all these shield. Good lord.
That's a full combo there. Gets that kill, Desire with one, and they're going to be happy with that. They get the AD carry. Second death for Knight of the Zed. And CC, I guess at this point, they're running out of options. The goal lead is a lot on the side of VTB. They could definitely force a Baron fight in 30 seconds if they wanted to at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. They could go for that, but at this point, you don't really need to. Because, like, if you're ahead this much, why risk it on the Baron unless you know it is a guarantee? You don't want to give the risk of a Lee Sin steal. It is very hard to keep him out of that pit. There's just no reason to force it, especially because who's wave clearing on this team? Why do you need Baron, right? Like, Baron is a tool that is mostly... Like, a lot of its value is in the fact that you can shove waves down and do a great job with that.
Yeah.
Nobody's clearing waves on this team right now. Like, you do not need it, and you don't want to risk the steal going over.
Yeah, the wave clear, not the absolute best, right? You're talking a little bit about that right now. The Baron, is it really going to be useful for VTP? At the end of the day, they have to weigh in their options, and it just looks like Lee Sin is baited a little bit over there. He's trying to check the pit, and they could possibly catch them out if they're risking it a little bit, overextending to check what's going down there over the top side. Neutral objective, and 20 minutes into the game. And it just looks like, oh, Desire goes all out. Does not land the charm, and that was the integral part of that combo. So they're not going to have the kill. And we see here, Desire gets rooted, but nothing to make of it.
That is a flash down on the Jhin now, and that might be something that does try and help them go for this Baron. They want to just avoid it. Although, if I am VTB right now, I am just looking to either do this and force them into a fight or back off when they show. Like, I don't think you want to commit to this unless you're very positive on that smite.
Here comes Curtain Call. I think they're going to just disengage and turn on them. They're looking, but the slow's coming through with the bullets. No play to beat after that. They just, I guess, a shot in the dark. Baron, it was an optimistic take, like you said. They didn't even have to burn a TP. Actually, they did. Zevel is here now, so he used the TP to get back in the swing of things. The gang is all here.
Although Lee Sin, though. Oh, no.
No, not like this. Where it is. Oh, It's a 2v1 and the Jin. Yeah, there's no way out of that one. Even if you tried, you can't get out of that one. No flashes for the Jin, unfortunately, right? And HP Gamer here is pressuring that top side. Meanwhile, you see little Piggy Man over the bot side. I don't know what to make of this yet. That recall is interrupted. Overrate on the 1v1. The junglers are going at it. Who's going to take this fight? But Zevel's around the corner, chasing the ward hop over the wall. Overrate just going to get dusted just like that.
Yeah, and most of that is just wasting time for Little Piggy Man to get this tower and get out. Now the Baron will be the start here, though, as Overrate is down. He's not going to be able to commit to this. Little Piggy Man is TPing in. They need to be able to try and stop this. Cannon ult is available if they need to use it.
Here we go. Little Piggy Man in the initiative goes fun. The showstopper to the back line. Does not catch anybody else, though. It is going to be a 1v2 for now. Zevel in the front line joined by HP Gaming. Zevel finds the kill. Zevel is still there. But now, Little Piggy Man gets the flash from the tree. Tree is here on the runaway. Slowed down. Arcane shift to buffer away from the attack. The W catches him, though. The Devourer will save him. Autumn, as well as the kill. Everything is going in favor of VTB. This is such a lopsided game so far, 1000 Eyes.
It really is, and it's just like every time Cali Cartel think they're gonna get a kill, somebody is there to save the day. Whether it's Karma, whether it's Tom Kench, whether it's just the Haymaker shield on the set, there's so much survivability. And just Cali Cartel, not only are they that burst-oriented team, but when you're behind as that, and you're up against this composition, there really is no answer here. Cali Cartel really just needs some kind of miracle to get themselves back into this game, because it is not looking good.
I mean, what can they do at this point? Maybe huddle up, maybe get some morale going. I mean, at this point,
talk about what's going to go on next game. Like, yeah. At this point, I think you're kind of just gonna phone it in for this one. I don't know if there's a capability of saving it. Obviously, you know, there's always a possibility. But
there is, yeah.
It is very hard to see a way out right now for Cali Cartel.
It's just like they're headed for the rocks, you know, like they have to either change their way or come up with something huge here. Maybe they could go for a huge flank play with the Cannon ultimate. You know, that is still shot and duck as well. I keep saying that, but you know, that's what it is. 20-6 scoreline, you know, almost that 10K mark of a goal lead, and just a full burst right there. I mean, what else is to be said about this game?
Yeah, it is just no. God, I don't even know what to say anymore. Just Desire can do this now. Like, that is a thing that is possible by this Evelynn.
Perfect game on Evan. Wait a minute, here comes a possible catch. This could be the silver lining we're talking about for CC, but Zevel, he is just too tag. He does too much damage, and meanwhile, the team is going to be on that Baron. Zevel is here on the 1v3. He's going for the showstopper, catching out the 80 carry. Not as that's going to get force his way out of that one. They do get their root here, and he gets rooted up, but here comes Tom Kench in the mix. Huddle up, ladies and gentlemen. Zevel is not dying tonight. He has reinforcements. The Haymaker barely finds the kill. Overrate around the corner, try to go for the Baron seal, not succeeding in that effort.
Hold on.
Desire. Oh,
you just gotta go.
Yeah, just gotta go. At that point, they're turning on their enemies. They're finding the kills. Everybody's taken very low on the side of CC. Their dreams and hopes are falling like a balloon full of lead. And Little Piggy Man, he almost looked like he was running it down. He's, I don't know. CC, what are y'all doing? But you know, there might be a way where we could see what their comfort picks are. Right now, I could tell you this much, 1000 Eyes. The Xin is actually not looking that bad. It looks like he's playing this one comfortably, but just he's getting caught out so many times though.
Yeah. Ooh. That's a bit of a tilter there.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a...
You don't like... I know that Sin generally tries to farm in between the towers, but it's a little bit harder to do in the mid lane because you don't have the range between the towers there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a tilt ant or that was actually him genuinely trying to do that, so I just didn't want to call it.
I think the intent was to proxy farm, but it is very funny when you think about... Okay, goodbye, ignore. But it is very funny when you just consider it of like, oh no, I'm done this game. Goodbye.
How can this go such a lopsided way when we were talking about a pre-draft that I wasn't even expecting this much, right? We thought that Sage was going to be really, really useful. Maybe it was one of those picks that really came backfiring against them rather than helping them out. Because Singe is on 0-6. You got the top lane Kennen. Maybe they could pick a stronger top laner in the next game, especially against a bully like the Tahm Kench, right? Maybe you want to ban it out. What are you thinking here? Because this is undoubtedly going to be the first game in Virginia Tech B team. This is going to be the last hurrah, though. Cali Cartel, they said hold the horses here. Little Piggy Man, never mind. That's going to be the game. So that was interesting. That was interesting, the least to say about that game.
Yeah, I mean, I like the mix up there. Cali Cartel going for something unique, going for something different. I think the big thing is that their composition really struggled into what they picked. You know, Singe just is never going to kill Set. He's never going to kill the Tahm Kench. I think it's a really smart adaptation there because I think they expected, you know, maybe something else in the mid lane. I don't think they were prepared for the Set to go mid. And it really kind of mixed things up in a way that CC were not capable of handling. I think, yeah, the Singed might not be it. I think might not be the call here. But I think overall, the early game from CC was good. They were getting that aggression down. They were using the Singed ability to shove and going alongside that Lee Sin. That pressure, though, fell off, and there just was not the same level of follow-up as it went further and further. Kept getting killed as they were diving into this Tahm Kench set and getting baited by that. And that's just something you can't do and give free gold away.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the more gold you have, the better chance you're at winning this thing, right? We saw that early game was a bit closer, a lot closer than the last game was. And going to the next game, we might see Cali Cartel put everything in the lab here, put everything in the sink, and trying to come up with a new formula maybe to win the second game. Obviously, the sides might be switched as well. So you could factor in, they were on the red side, right? As they were on the red side, they had the ability to counter these picks. They ended up losing in such a lopsided fashion. To me, this is maybe what will happen on the blue side, but you have so many measures to prevent that happening from draft-wise on the red.
Yeah, it's something that they really could have predict and kind of maneuvered around a little better. I feel like the Singe just kind of did not work out as expected, and other than that, really should look to maybe play something a little more standard, play a little bit something they're more comfortable with, and try and get their players on something that has, you know, a little bit more agency and doesn't deal so poorly with the shield type of champions that they're up against.
Well, with that said, we'll be right back with the second game between Cali, Cali Cartel and Virginia Tech. With that said, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we are back after a short break. Hopefully, you didn't miss us too much. But I'm here on the casting this. My name is Proof. I'm here joined by Thousand Eyes. There, I thought you were gonna cut it.
I had to think for a second, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like setting it. I was like a layup. I was just passing the ball to you. How'd you feel about this going into it? We did have a lot of speculation, a lot of prediction, or just picking apart the draft. But now we had time to backtrack and look at it from a bigger standpoint, right? Overarching picture. Did you really like how CC Cali Cartel approached that draft, or do you have second thoughts about that?
I liked the draft in theory. I
Hmm.
think I feel like the Singed really would have been better off in that top side against the Tom Kench. Like
Hmm.
that's what I expected when I saw that Singed,
Hmm.
which is why I was so excited about that. I feel like Singed mid already is kind of a stretch. And then you put it up against something like the set, which has, the capability of kind of tanking that wave and getting that grit shield and kind of
Hmm.
out farming Singe. Singe doesn't have a way to proxy farm then. I kind of
Yeah.
question that aspect of it, but I think the composition itself was sound. Just the
Mhm.
execution and the placement of the champions themselves felt a little lacking.
Definitely the execution then. So, would you say we could see a different draft in, this time around, that the execution maybe could be better for Cali Cartel because they're going to be playing on the blue side maybe, or at this point from the intel that we gathered for the first game, who are the top targets that we're banning? For me, I'm going to just throw something out there. Not a big fan of the Tom Kench, really. I think if I had an option to ban anybody here, it either would be the Tom Kench, or maybe I'll look somewhere else where I think, I don't want to play, I don't want my top laner to play against this, or I don't want my mid laner to play against this. Where would you stand on that?
I mean, I think the Tom Kench kind of was one. I mean, I think Tom Kench is a fine ban. Would not want to deal with the Tom Kench personally,
Yeah.
but the set specifically, I really hope they're not going to go to ban, because I feel
Hmm.
like the answer to that is just to pick a more competent mid laner that can handle that type of a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Kench can kind of just do well into a lot of matchups, and he's hard to deal with. But overall, I really want to see them kind of move into something that's just like, all right, hey, let's just focus a lane, let's do that hardcore, and let's try and pull a win out with something a little bit more meta, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they could counter the pick, and now knowing that maybe the set will be making a showing in the mid lane, maybe they could draft, like you said, someone who's better able to deal with that type of champion. And now we see the picks and bans starting through here, with now the bans being kind of the similar bans we saw last time. It's going to be the Ziggs for the first one from
Yeah, Ziggs.
Cali.
Ziggs once again being taken off. Do not want Zevel to get that champion, like we said.
Hmm.
I'd expect a lot of these pocket picks are going to be very similar. The Kindred ban probably not going to be let through as well. But let's kind of just kind of talk about what does Cali Cartel really need here. I think
Hmm.
honestly they could go for that Jin Nautilus again. That worked really well.
Yeah.
It just felt like after they got that initial kill, there was no extra pressure there. And that's somewhat due in part due to the fact that they had a Karma Ezreal they were up against.
Yeah, that is
So
true.
maybe you go for like a couple of bans more on that side. Maybe you try and take away something like that, or,
Mhm.
just don't allow them to be able to play safe, because when they could catch VTB out, that worked really, really well.
Hmm. Yeah, just the problem was everything else on the map fell apart for them. The bot lane was okay. Like you said, the duo for the dredge line and the Jin and W set up for quite some, I guess, dynamic in their favor. But it just ended up everywhere else. Like when you looked, everything was falling apart. It didn't really go in their favor. Now, with that said, you see the Shen again on the side of VTB band, and with that, the Kindred. So they're sticking with their same strategy. They're not going to change anything. If it's not broken, then why try to improve, or even in that matter fix anything at that point?
I mean, both teams are right now as far as the bans go. And I think that tracks, because just nothing from a draft standpoint was broken. Nothing was like, oh, we don't want to deal with this, except for the Tom Kench, which, like we said, makes sense to ban away. I'm kind of surprised a lot of teams aren't going for the Tom Ketchmore. It is a very safe kind of tank pick, similar to
Mhm.
how Ornn works in a lot of ways, where he can kind of do fine into like pretty much any matchup, and you don't need to worry about him. But now we are going to be seeing Cali Cartel with the first pick available here. Going to be going for that Jarvan, which they
Oh,
weren't able to get because they banded away themselves last time.
true.
So still going for that extra aggression in the early game, and
Mhm.
VTB are still calling the bluff.
They're calling the bluff and they're saying, you know what, we're gonna draft the same jungler that was problematic for you last game, and it's gonna be the Evelyn.
Yeah, and once again, this should be something Jarvan can handle.
Yeah.
Just you get in onto the Evelyn, you pressure, you get interface early. Jarvan can do that, just like Lee Sin could. I just want to see that aggression stick. I want to see them keep doing it, and hopefully that also means they're going to be getting something that can keep mid lane shoved in, but also definitively get the last hits there. Because I think that was a big struggle for Piggy, not getting the actual farm needed to be a threat on the Singed.
Here we go. I
Oh.
think, yeah, that's an interesting one. The karma definitely gets seen at a second time player, right? The second time
Okay.
around. But this time it's going to be in the hands of Cali Cartel instead of VTB here over the bot side. So
Mhm.
they did give away the Ezreal. They were just like, okay, you could take half of that, right? Half of your bot lane early on, but we're just going to be taking the karma and the misfortune here.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they are taking the karma away. That was huge for BTB when they were
Mhm.
able to keep the shields up on people and not allow, like, Ezreal's already safe. Then you add karma shields on top of that with the Shirelias. It's impossible. Well, okay, now you're gonna just swap in the Janna. That kind of does the same thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like that they're kind of just forcing VTB to play something different, forcing them to play something that is a little bit not what they were expecting, and change things up. And Karma MF, like, that's a lot of movement speed in and of itself, too. So the pressure is still going to be there from Cali Cartel on the bot side. Ezreal Janna, that is no push power. MF
Yeah.
and Karma, they can shove this thing all day if they want to.
Yeah, they could essentially they could get away with a lot here in the bot lane without getting maybe punished that much. You see the Evelyn, and this time around, I don't think you still want to be going bot lane like we discussed that a little bit early on last game. As a jungler, what lane would you in turn be prioritizing here? Because your bot lane is going to be pushed under sometime. You might not want to argue that, but is it really the lane to focus towards? Because honestly, it doesn't have that much CC. If you would argue, the Chena, I mean, you could argue that, right? But definitely something to look out for here is how the junglers will contribute to this game. Because last game it was kind of a bloody start.
It was. I mean, I'm not expecting as much aggression from this Evelyn this time around.
Hmm.
And if it is going to be coming, I don't think it's going to be bot side, because
Yeah.
not only do you not have the setup for that, and you don't
Hmm.
have, the early invisibility, you need the 6 for that. But a counter gank from Jarvan against that will be
Oh.
very deadly. And
Hmm.
Janna, yeah, okay, Janna can peel decently. It's still going to be really tough to get away from that. The big thing that I'm looking for is, are VTB going to be able to get laners that are going to have enough pressure in these solo lanes to allow for Evelyn to be able to farm safely? Or are we going to start seeing a little bit more of what Cali Cartel did in that first couple of minutes in game one?
Yeah. We'll see. Like you called it last game, we'll see what happens this time around. The set, the hover, you're debating us, but it's gonna be the Poppy at the end of the day.
Yeah, so a Poppy top lane, this does give Cali Cartel the opportunity to counter pick that if they want, or at the very least, make sure that they do not pick something that Poppy can counter. No Fiora is coming through this time around, and
Mhm.
looking like it may be the Mundo, which I think is great here. When you're talking about early game, yeah, Poppy's got a little bit more presence
Mhm.
in an actual fight, but Mundo's ability to just scale up and tank better than the Poppy is going to be very strongly felt here as we kind of get further and further into the lane.
Yeah, I also want to add the play style that this kind of comp brings out from BT, because last game we saw they like fighting a lot, but they also fighting in a prolonged fight. How
Mhm.
does this draft compare to the last draft? Because this looks a little bit more bursty, a little bit more explosive. Yes, they do have that Ezreal. It does look very very different compared to the Karma and Ezreal. Now it's the Jenna and Israel. So now with the Echo, like we said, that's another pick. Thousand Eyes, you're 100% tonight, calling it out as you see it. So
Well,
Autumn.
it is a mid lane echo, to be fair. I did say
Oh
like keep an eye
no.
out for the jungle
Uh-huh.
echo, but I mean, I'll take a win where I can get it.
Hey.
But I do like too the fact that they
Mhm,
picked this Azir.
mhm,
It does basically say you can't go for the set here. If you pick set into Azir, set is
mhm.
not going to do anything until skirmishes and team fights start happening because Azir will shove him in constantly. It basically worked almost as an extra ban for Cali
Mhm.
Cartel and forced VTB to go for something that had some sort of range.
Yeah, now looking at this objectively, right? Let's start off by talking a little bit about the VTB lineup right here in the draft. Do you think they're still looking for the prolonged fights, or are they going for more of a catch comp? They're trying to see who's a side laning, a little bit overstepping here at times as well. What's their bread and butter at this point?
I mean, really, the big thing is just the constant, peel and hard to killness is still, there in BTB. That's kind of the big thing that we talked about, where last game they just
Hmm.
struggled to actually get the kills out. And, you have Echo, you have Janna, you have
Hmm.
Ezreal. Evelyn can sneak away and heal up very quickly.
Hmm.
There's still a lot of that, although I think it is much less than it was in the last game. Whereas you're looking at Cali, and
Hmm.
there are much more standard composition this time around. The constant DPS from the MF from the Azir. There's a lot of like backline DPS that's going to be coming out, and it's going to be a little bit less hectic, I think, in this early game, and they're going to look to just scale up and get into these team fights.
Well, let's see what they got in store for us. Kicking things off. Before that, though, quick introduction. My name is Proof, and I'm joined here with Thousand Eyes. And tonight, I guess we saw something that you rarely get to see, the Singe mid, and shortly after that, we see a pause. But definitely talking a little bit about that cinch. This, like you said, Thousand Eyes, does look more standard. Does look more
Mhm.
kind of like they're open the books. They're sticking with their comfort picks. They're not going to try anything risky here. But they are on the blue side, so we might expect the pathing to be a little bit different here as well. Priorities could change here. Just looking at things like I asked you about VTB. What do you think about the Cali cartel lineup here, as far as the overarching picture is concerned?
I mean, really, just I want to see Overrate just be aggro as all heck. Just get in the
Mhm.
face of this Echo, get in the face of this Ezreal. I know like bot lane is going to be hard to gank, but at least the pressure there to allow for MF and Karma to keep that their own pressure up and not allow for this Evelyn to sneak in, just kind of force Evelyn to just give up on bot lane. Really, just I feel like if you're over eight, it is a little bit tough to gank these lanes here. You got Poppy who can block you. You've got Echo who's fairly mobile and post 6 will just get out of everything. You have Ezreal and Janna, which are really
Mhm.
hard to gank. Over 8 really needs to make stuff happen early.
Yeah, let's see if Overrate could use that advantage on the early skirmish power that the Jarvan has. And starting from the bot side, has a decent enough leash. So we might be able to see a gank here at level 3, or better yet, a first blood 2. So that's still in the bank. With that said, you see the VTB's junglers desire start from the top side. Kind of a deja vu for them last game, as they did start on the top side as well. The mid lane, dynamic does definitely seem different here. I think this is a brand new ball game at this point. It's anybody's game. Definitely the Echo going mid lane, like we discussed a little bit early on, is not the jungle Echo.
Yeah, so it is going to be tough for Echo very early, and yeah, the oh boy.
That's the oh boy. That's an oh boy if I ever seen one. It makes you go. Autumn already, 1/3 of HP left. Knight of the Zed finding a lot of that damage, and early on poke alongside Nahor, who's playing the Karma. So that's kind of a, I guess, a good poke lane and also very good aggressive lane too.
Yeah, I mean, in case you guys weren't aware, like Misfortune Karma, that's a really good level 1. you got a lot of tools there, level 1. And Gianna and Ezreal are not very much known for their prowess early on. So this is definitely, you know, what to expect from this lane. And that is the early back from Autumn. As you can see now, some skirmishing on this bot side too. Overrate getting in the face.
There it is. Looks like they're gonna collapse on the bot side, but they don't really overcommit, so that's really good. They're not wasting a lot of that time as the minion wave is, I guess, almost crashing under the tower. That is a definite good push there. But now Zevil goes for the level 3 trade, taken kind of low, has to use a corrupting potions just to level out that damage. Over right around the corner, says hello my little bro, the flash under the turret. That will be first blood gone over to the little piggy man, and now Desire's a little tad bit late there, my friend. You had to be there earlier to catch the train.
Holy crap, Overrate, massive prediction there on that flash. Well, maybe not prediction, but still a massive flash.
Yeah, that
follow.
flash is huge.
Zevil there to knock up and allow for Little Piggy Man to get that first blood. Already exactly what you wanted there. Like, we talked about Poppy and Ezreal being really hard to gank right from the get-go. Echo is vulnerable until that level 6 point. So navigating that, getting Evelyn to a point where she could not follow. She was too, low, chased it around in her own jungle. That opened up the opportunity for Overrate to go mid, and they took perfect advantage of it.
They certainly did, and now 30 seconds for our first Ocean Dragon. It's going to be spawning pretty soon. As you see, the priority is for the bot lane so far, so Cali Cartels do have that going for them. Obviously, the mid lane is still a toss-up. With that said, no, both summoners are down for Zevil. And then you see Little Piggy Man does still have the flash, so maybe an outplay potential could still happen over in the mid lane.
Zevil getting a little bit of roam on that bot side, looking to be just getting some vision. But does not actually do too much with that. Top lane looking just to be a farm, and kind of what we expected here. Early Poppy has the kind of control here, but once that level 6 point hits, Poppy is never going to be able to kill this Mundo on her own. Maybe you can get the Evelyn to get up there. Poppy does have a very consistent way to knock off the Mundo passive and allow him to be charmed. So that is a possibility, but man, it is very hard to kill this Mundo by anybody here post that level 6 point.
Yeah, definitely something to watch out for here. That unkillable Mundo, and throws the axe right in the face there. HP Gamer low on potions. I think that was the last one. So, going back and forth here, it is a 1-0 regardless, right? Cali game, Cali Cartel definitely off to a good start compared to the last game. They have a little bit more gold this time around.
Yeah, and it's exactly where they want it to on this Azir. And we'll see. I am kind of curious. I have not been following up on my Azir builds. Not a champion that I am capable of playing, and has not been around very much. So I have not followed on that.
It's a surprise.
I'm assuming it's just going to be that Leandry's into the Nashers, but we will have to keep our eye on that as HP Gamer uses the TP to get back on this top side. And there you go. That is the knock to try and get that. Evelyn trying to gank this top side gives up Dragon.
Gives up Dragon for this, but like you said, you don't want to be ganking Mundo. He's essentially unkillable around that level 6 point. You see Little Piggy Man going
I
all
mean,
that.
there was a possibility there because Yoshishi did blow the ult one and did get the passive knocked off by the Poppy there. They were trying to set something up, but they chased the Mundo a little bit too far. Yoshishi either smelled something or tried to respect the fact that Evelyn was gone, and they just had their jungler show up bot for the dragon. So overall, still just a win for Cali in this game too.
Sometimes you got a sixth hunch, right? Telling you maybe to back off in the right time. But here
Hold up.
comes a huge gank. And the mid lane, the Desire is charmed. The full combo coming through. But the shuffle under the turret. Desire is tanking that turret aggro, but will not find the kill. Zeble is taken very low. Overrated was around the corner. He will go for this if you let him. The chrono break. Not really good. Says good night. And now under the turret goes Cataclysm. Turret aggro there on Overrate, taken very, very low. Optimistic play by him, but still 2-0 CC.
Yeah, a little bit risky there. Wasn't expecting that dive, but once again, a very good play there by Lil Piggyman specifically to just kind of get Zevel low as the Evelyn goes in, basically force Echo to not be helpful in that gank, and getting a kill out of that because of the chrono break. So really smart play by Lil Piggyman and Overrate to just show up and make sure that they could get that confirmation on the kill.
And it feels good to see an Azir early on with the 2-0 lead over an Echo in the mid lane. 150 gold bounty on him as he's looking real good. You take a look over the bot side here. You see that bullet time is available on that of the Zed. Tree here does have the true shot barrage, but I'm heavily favoring the bullet time if the fight breaks out. This is a huge setup here. Let's see what.
Oh no!
Oh, the fight's gonna break out, and the first one to go will be Desire. Kind of walking right to a death trap there.
And that's kind of what we were saying about, like, it is very hard for Evelyn to gank this bot side unless they know where Jarvan is, because that is the power of the counter gank there. Zeble now.
Oh, no chrono break on the Echo. Says good night. A little too early there. Bedtime is up. He's like Echo is a little kid at a grown man's table at this point.
Yeah, all around here, Cali are just starting to pop off. The only lane that VTB really have going for them is a slight lead in this top side. And like we said, it's Mundo. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's just gonna... He buy items. He do not know what item do, but he dies less.
Yeah, definitely. Here we got the top lane dynamic. It is still kind of an island because we haven't seen any resources besides that roam or whatever you want to call it, shadowing there by Desire going for the kill. Wasn't even spotted there, so definitely you could see maybe this topside neutral objective could be under a hot commodity, but there it is. HP Gamer finds a knockup, finds a stun. That's the kill.
Yeah, good pick there, and just kind of little bit of lack of respect there. I mean, that is hard to just call out of like, oh, where is Evelyn? But now Lil Yoshi, or sorry, I'm Yoshishi.
Yeah.
Now gonna be able to pressure this Poppy really hard because there is no flash or ult on her. That it has to be a Poppy that's gonna back soon.
Yeah, at least they get a kill so far.
Don't win this.
Yeah, Desire still over the top side. Let's see if what I'm Yoshishi is capable of doing here on the 2v1. Will finally get spotted. Gonna burn out the ultimate under the turret, the full counter, but here comes Overrate. Now TP plays happening as well. A fight breaks out. Everybody's taking low on the side of BTB. They're going down. I'm Yoshishi, goes one, so that's a trade. Huge chrono break. Are you kidding me, Zevel? Chrono breaks all the way back to the mid lane. And that is the play of the day, maybe.
Yeah, Zeppel getting it just enough time to get that and get the heck back to mid lane. Perfectly timed. So both top laners do end up falling, but Desire also falls. So despite all of that, while it is a great play, the overall play is a loss for VTB because they are losing more people. Yoshishi is just way too tanky to make that work, and Overrate just once again, these flash knockups are ridiculous.
Yeah. You know, you also did say that they're losing a lot. They just also CC secure the top side neutral objective, which is going to be the Herald. And now they could look for maybe turrets. The first turret is definitely the saucy one, and they want to go for maybe bot side, as you see. No, it's going to be mid lane. There it is. The priority is always the mid lane.
Tracks.
Zevil taking very low chrono break, as we are reminded that 1 and 4 on the Echo feels bad, man. Seeing this Echo, that's what the saying is. The CSGO feels bad, man. Saying, that's how I feel. Like face palm right now for the Echo.
I mean, so like right now, the reason they want to use this Rift Herald mid is just to get this Azir out and about, because he is their team's like gold leader. He is the one who can call the shots. He is the one who can do the damage. They want him to be able to roam around and not be stuck in this mid lane. So that is exactly why they want to use that Rift Herald there. Unfortunately, Zevil not really paying attention to that and gets caught sleeping a little bit.
You don't want to be sleeping around this time. As you can see, Dragon is up. It is secured. And there it is. Oh, another ultimate, another great setup. Autumn under a lot of heat. Headed for the rocks. We'll go back to the fountain. And what do we got here? The Infernal is going to be our soul tonight.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like Red Side's a little bit cursed this game, because no matter who's on it, it just gets a little funky for Red Side. Once again, mid lane just not doing well, but this time it is VTB who are struggling, and Lil Piggy Man has had a very strong redemption this time around.
Yeah. You're talking about like VTB. Maybe it's a curse for the red side. I don't know what it is. It just looks like everything they try is backfiring against them. Desire, this is probably the third attempt. The third attempt. Oh my goodness. And now the knockup is there. Charmed under the tower. Could be a full combo. We'll finally get that kill. HP Gamer is so relieved. Finally says the third time is our lucky time, I guess. The charm is here. True Shot Barrage does connect. Zevil is rooted up though under the turret. Does have Chrono Break. We'll utilize it, but that will be an execution. Autumn goes down.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it is an execute. It is not an actual death, and they get both summoners out of Night of the Zed. But yeah, it is a unsuccessful dive in terms of what they were looking for, trying to get the kills there and just get something out of this MF. And once again, just Zevil not getting anything done as this Echo, really. And Autumn dying in very, I feel, preventable situations.
Yeah, preventable, or just walking in a no man's land, or just going out and about. Gets caught out there by the Azir and under the turret there. So it just feels a little bit bad that VTB, after a great showing, now on the back foot, trying to climb back against this huge mountain. And this mountain is going to be the Mondo over the top side. Is he able to break free? Could be off the hook here just a little bit. Oh, taken very low and will drop. HP Gamer with another kill. 3 so far for the Poppy on the turret. There goes a trade. You cannot outsmart Knight of the Zed. He will get you. There it is. Over raid with the Cataclysm over that 1v2. Buying enough time for Nahor. There it is. Over raid. Taken low though. The help has arrived. What do we make of this so far? 9-5 and 15 minutes into the game. The gold lead isn't that much in the pockets of Cali Cartel.
Yeah, so big thing here is the Divine Sunder on this Poppy does give her a lot of presence. Just getting some of these kills and kind of putting that into a way to kind of split push, because that really is going to be VTB's way to get back into this game. Just allow Poppy to be something that Mundo cannot really deal with, and force the rest of Cali to respect that and bring some extra people there, because Yoshishi, oh, he wants this bad.
Oh,
goodbye.
There it is down. Goodbye. See you later. Meet you later, maybe some other time. 1-3-1 for Yoshishi at this point, right? Not looking too spicy, although it's just a tank top laner, right? You don't need to really care with the Mondo. Like you said, Divine Sunder over at the Poppy will make her have so much agency in this game, so much presence, as you can see. What are they up to here? What are these?
They don't want Tree to play the game. That's the long and short of it. Yeah, Tree is just not gonna have a fun time. Say goodbye, friend.
No, say goodbye. Imminent Doom right there under the turret. The follow-up. Tree just goes and bites the dust just as fast as he got back to lane. He's going to be finding himself back into the Phantom Zevil here on the turret. Autumn as well, finally, though. Look at the possible dive maybe on Yoshi. He's just going to flash over the wall over where the Raptors are located. He's going to be safe and sound. In the meantime, still, though, the initiative is still there for VTB to take on this mid lane tier 1 tower. The TP behind the back. They're going to set up for a kill here. No, the disengage is called, so no play to bed after that. Zevil, though, is recalling in a bit of a... Oh, no, not Zevil. Like this. Little piggyback 6 kill in the game. And 11-5 CC are really are on this game. And it feels like for VTB, the higher they climb, the top gets smaller.
Oh, man. Zevil's just got to be tilted at this point.
Oh, the True Shot Barrage there over... HP Gamer is going to pick up that kill. Overrated the Cataclysm. The Azir doing a lot of that damage. They do find the Poppy. And now Desire taking it very low. Will drop. And everybody on the side of VTB are taken low. That you could argue that is essentially an ace. How strong was that play there?
I mean, all over, just VTB are making the plays. And it's very lackadaisical play from VTB. As you did just see, you know, Zevil getting caught, dying with Chrono Shift up. I mean, obviously would not be of use there, but did not have the opportunity to use it and just backed in a very just insecure place. It's just not a good move. They tried to turn it around there, but like Ezreal's not in that fight. Yeah, Poppy's getting in there and doing some damage, but you've got a lot of peel here. You know, the Karma is going to do a lot. The Azir ult will peel people off of MF and allow her to do her thing. Man, this just feels like a complete turnaround from game 1.
I mean, it just feels like night and day for me. I think also Azir's ultimate, the Emperor's Divide, has been definitely clutch, to say the least. And 7-0-4. This is kind of unexpected for Zevil. As to someone who has a get-out-of-jail-free card with a Chrono Break, has been dying a lot in this game.
Yeah, I mean, both Zevil and Autumn have had a lot of preventable deaths and just had no reason to be getting caught out the way they have. Right now, it is just kind of the pressure game for Cali. They need to kind of get some more of this objective pressure here. Soul Point will be coming up in 3.5 minutes, and Cali should be able to control this. They should be able to kind of get their Inferno Soul, become even more scary because you have a lot of damage on that MF and Azir, and should close that out after that. But if they are not able to, that does kind of bring some questions of what is Cali doing that they are not capable of closing things out.
And here we go. Fight over vision. As you see, at least we could take a look at the map as a whole, see how the you know, the backs are impacting here. The Knight of the Zed getting ahead a lot, I would say, compared to the Ezreal, right? Like, Misfortune is where she wants to be at this point. And you got the Poppy on the other side, maybe kind of alleviating some of that pressure provided by Knight of the Zed. But as we said, Poppy has a lot of agency, but she just needs a lot of backing. Now she goes all in, literally in a bad spot. As you see, little Peggy Man is around the corner as well. It's going to be the quick disengage. They don't want to die over nothing. And the objective right now is the only one on map is the Baron. And now in 2.5 minutes, it's going to be the Dragon, which is a huge point for CC. If they get this Dragon, it is going to be the Infernal Soul.
Yeah, this is a slightly awkward point for Cali Cartel, because there is no real way for them to be able to shove this. The Ezreal has hit a point where he can farm from really far away. Ooh, yeah. That was a nice. The Poppy is tanky enough to survive things out. It's hard for them to feel safe pushing up here, because they do have the Azir ult now to try and keep this Evelynn away.
They could go for an Emperor's Divide right now, but from the back, here comes Zevil, finds one, and that's the Karma down. Second up is going to be Knight of Zed, taking it very low, trying to sidestep that, but to no avail. They go down as well. Overraid has found one, though. That is, so far, a 2-for-1 in favor of VTB. Desire gonna back away just barely, but can't get out. So that's a 2-for-2 all in all. wasn't so bad. 16-8 overall. It's still a lot of goal lead for CC.
It's a lot of gold lead here, but that was a good play by VTB to be able to get something going for themselves here.
Sure.
Finally able to get a kill on this MF again and get a very instant kill onto Nahor. So a lot of pressure kind of utilized here. They just need to be able to get this Azir. He's sitting on a 700 gold bounty. If they can take the Azir down, that's going to be a lot of money into whoever gets the kill's pocket.
Ideally, I think maybe, I mean, at this point, ideally,
you want
Ezreal. You want
Ezreal 100%. Because you need him to be able to do damage from range. Echo, at this point, he's a distraction at best. He's always going to be a distraction.
But
you don't
technically,
want to put gold in there.
True. The Echo, he's the one who actually has kind of like the mobility advantage. Like, as you see, he's maybe the one with utilizing the E, could maybe stick on the Azir, but definitely it could be really useful for this tree, the Ezreal, right, to get the kill here and maybe be able to do more damage. 700 gold bounty, just imagine what you could do. maybe finishing out an item.
It is worth mentioning now that we do have the MF going for a straight lethality build. Poppy will do okay against that later on.
Definitely. Looks like both teams are here setting up for a possible take on the Dragon. Mind you, this is the Soul if CC take it. As you see the front line, Yoshoshi is routing the enemy, but it just looks like a nice and easy dive to the back line. Poppy with 1 kill. Yoshoshi following up on the wall. Tree arcane shift, sidestepping. He's juking the heck out of that one. Desire finds one, and now is down. So far, it is all for nothing at this point. VTB are up on the trades. They haven't lost a single player yet. However, the Dragon is still going to have a huge reset there, and it just looks like Desire is around the corner. Are they going to go for the long fight here? Going to go for the flank. Oh, never mind. Yep, the VTB took the Dragon. That was a good steal. So Infernal is off the table right now.
I mean,
that was worth it, I guess.
That wasn't even a steal there. They just obliterated Overrate and just took that one down very easily. Just getting caught out. Jarvan even tried to use the smite to stay alive in that and just could not do so. So a major win there and good pick potential from VTB to isolate that Jarvan, say, hey, he's up against a wall. I can smash him. Let's do that. Let's get this Dragon then and shove everybody out. Lil Piggyman did not show up to that fight until late, and it showed big time in terms of the impact on that fight. Just the Azir was nowhere to be seen, and Poppy just wiped the floor with this Jarvan.
Yeah, I think without losing any casualties, right? Mind you, they got so many picks and they didn't even have to lose anybody. They got the Infernal as well on top of that. Now they're sitting at a 3 gold discrepancy between the teams. So it's not that big of a deal. It's still winnable if you counter in how VTB have been playing the last couple of minutes at least.
Yeah, slowly but surely they're coming back in. Oh boy.
Drop Barrage does get the damage, but not the kill. However, HP Gamer around the corner, fancied for a possible all-in there, but here comes Zevil. Does find Overrate on the 1v1. However, Little Piggyman is around the corner. You don't want to overcommit here as the Echo. You always want to go for the hop over the wall, the surprise attack. At this point, you don't want to overcommit though. Oh, he's going to secure the red, so nice and easy. Overrate is getting hungry. Not finding those important jungle camps he desires.
Important to note here now that the Poppy has started building some magic resist, so Azir will be less of a problem to her. And now we are kind of going to start to see Poppy become kind of a threat now. Like, she was already a threat from a damage perspective, but now she's also going to be really hard to take down by anybody on Cali Cartel's team. The early lead that they have gotten is kind of starting to fall down. Now, it is worth mentioning that I think Cali Cartel do have a slightly better late game. The only thing really keeping them from having a great late game is the fact that this MF is really not going to do well later on, because the lethality is going to fall off like a rock.
Yeah, that's what you hate to see, right? Not as ideal in this situation, especially when VTB have been finding some opportunities. Their silver lining. It just looks like a brand new ball game from start to finish, right? Started looked very, very dicey for them, and now finding a couple opportunities here. You see them going all out. Definitely Lich Bane, not going to do anything against that. Mondu, Dr. Mundo over the bot side here. You see the mid lane, and they're pushing. They have four, I guess, four-man push here in the mid lane as having Amyoshishi over the bot side, kind of a split factor. He does have the TP to join any given fight, any given moment. I mean, we might see a smooth sailing from here on out until maybe the Baron fight, or even that 1 minute the Dragon is going to be spawning over the bot side.
Yeah, once again, sole point for Cali Cartel. They are resetting right now to make sure that they get that. Right now, VTB should have an opportunity. Actually, a really good stop there from the Ezreal ult to make that reset a little bit late. So now, VTB should be kind of aware what the plan is from Cali Cartel. They should be going in and getting vision down around this Dragon Pit and make sure that they can be the first people on that scene and be prepared for the fight that's going to come, because they need to make sure they're getting these dragons still.
Yeah, and not to mention, you got 5 stacks on the Dark Seal, 2 stacks on the Dark Seal for Desire and Zevil. They do have their comp a little bit very well balanced, although now you're seeing the resurgence of the Echo, the resurgence of Desire, of the full combos. If they get the right targets, they will assassinate them at this point. And with the Lich Bane completed, I'm assuming that the Echo is generally going to be going on the Misfortune, going on the Karma. And you see they're setting up quite well for this Infernal. As you see, Echo goes out, has to burn the corner break, but the engage is still there. HP gamer around the corner. Azir's very, very low, so they might just disengage and give the second Infernal over and out, but Amyoshishi is still around the corner. I don't think they're going to go, they're going to let go of this Infernal without a fight. Yeah, they have a TP now, but there it is, too late for the trigger there to pull, and now Amyoshishi just taking damage, but it's neither here or there. Desire walks away, everybody walks away, and that's an Infernal for VTB.
Yeah, once again, VTB getting that first grab at the Dragon and being there early helps out big time, but they're gonna be late on the rotation to this Baron because Cali Cartel want to fight. They want to force VTB into a fight because they know they win these fights.
True shot barrage, definitely gonna spot them. Yeah, they want to force these fight. Cartel, they could win. Possibly HPM are getting very low in front of the HPs. Look at they're dwindling down, and there it is. Bullet time by Misfortune. Tree around the corner. Mondo with the first kill, and that is so far Cartel's favor. They're finding the kills, and Overrated gonna get away. HP Gamer, what is happening? Double kill for the Mondo. They don't find anything. VTB are empty-handed, going back to the fountain, and there it is. An interruption there. Zevil is under a lot of trouble. His back is against the wall. Is he gonna do anything here? The answer is no, and that is an ace, ladies and gentlemen. Cali Cartel are back in it, and they're gonna take this Baron.
Exactly what they needed there, recognizing, hey, we are ahead. We need to make them fight us. Just go to Baron, make them fight us for it, and we win that every time. The Poppy hitting a massive ult there, but unfortunately, it just was not enough. They kept chasing deeper and deeper. Meanwhile, on the other side, the two people that didn't get knocked away kind of shredded through VTB. So there just was not anywhere near enough damage to be able to actually, you know, threaten these backline threats on Cali Cartel. VTB just kind of, unfortunately, sat there unable to really do a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a replay here, but definitely if we were to take a look, initially, Tree was, I mean, whoever harmed Tree to get that low, I felt like his HP bar was just dropping every second I was looking into it. But definitely the bullet time was really, really useful there on Knight of the Zed. You got Overrate there, a Cataclysm. There was a lot of ultimates that went down, and then it's kind of a press R to win situation where Cali Cartel are finding these opportunities. Sorry, and they're seizing the opportunities, right? And now they're coming on top with over 6K goal lead. They're looking very comfortable.
Yeah, right now things are looking dire for VTB because they had the tempo going for themselves, and just a quick Baron call from Cali Cartel turned things around. Desire's trying to make things happen. What they really need to do, VTB just need to keep making picks. We saw success from them when they were using that Evelyn to pick people off, using that Poppy to stun people and do massive amounts of damage before the fight. If they can get fights around the fact that they are forcing people to back, that is where they are successful. If VTB just go for a straight up 5v5, they are too far down in gold to make that work.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really favoring them at this point. And now you see Yoshishi, he's going to get caught off guard. He's level 17, though, so he does have a lot of fuel in the tank to burn against this 1v2. Finding a lot of that damage. We'll turn it around. Desire have to burn the ult to stay alive. The corner break is used. Zevil under a lot of heat there.
That's not the right way, buddy.
That's the wrong way. You're going on the one-way ticket to hell, maybe, but no. Finds a W, and the stun could possibly find the kill. No. Knight of the Zed finally getting that kill, and you see the Emperor's Divide, the double kill coming through, and this is looking very sensational on the side of Cartel. Cali Cartel making it happen. When it rains, it pours at this point. VTB, they're in a huge deficit at this point, more than they were 2 minutes ago. So this game with a 10k goal lead, CC, they would have to make a huge error to let this one go away.
Yeah, I think this game's over right now because Cali Cartel is just going to shove this one in, close it out. A slightly slow mid-game, but overall really well done.
Yeah, Poppy, the last one in the front line, doing some damage. Desire trying to find a flank here. Poppy finds a deep root. Nope, nothing to make of it. Just gets instantly shredded by the Azir. They're on Yoshishi. They're just going to be doing, the Nexus is going to be falling shortly here, no longer for the world. And there it is, CC win the second game. Thousand Eyes. You know what that means? Essentially, we're going to the third game right now. Let's get it.
Yeah, and we talked about the start of the game, or the start of the show, that these teams both took the top contender to a 2-1. And I would expect nothing less from teams that are this evenly matched. Right now, it is back and forth. It feels like whoever gets a lead early and makes use of that lead is the team that is able to bring it home. But there are definitely mistakes happening on both sides. This time around, we saw the Echo and the Janna a couple of times were just caught out or just doing something really ill-advised. Janna trying to stop backs, just getting caught and dying. Echo trying to back and getting caught and dying. That stuff needs to be cleaned up going into game 3.
Definitely, I think whoever's playing on the red side tonight's not feeling it, to be honest. Maybe it's the sides curse, who knows? But going into it, right, maybe they could advise a different plan. Definitely, you see that mid lane gap a little bit there, right? It felt like the Azir was more comfortable, whereas Zevil was struggling a little bit on the Echo. Unnecessary deaths there on Nahor as well. Yeah, all in all, things could be prevented. Next game, maybe a cleaner setup, maybe a cleaner comp where it's easier for them to pile. Definitely their play style is still there. They are really, really good in the team fights, but they just need a little bit more advantage to start that team fight where you said if they go for the 5v5s, they were a little bit too behind to see that through.
Yeah, a little bit too far behind, but ultimately, I think both teams now have experienced a loss. They've experienced a win. It is all about how you adapt to these things, and that's going to be the big question going into that last game.
Yeah. Yeah, so you don't always win your battles, but it's good to know you fought. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back for the third game. Stay tuned. Well, I'm excited for this. We took a short break. We did discuss things behind the scenes, but generally speaking, Thousand Eyes, I don't know about you, but I'm a fan favorite of seeing a series go to the full stretch, and that's what we're seeing here essentially. Virginia Tech B team versus Cali Cartel, and you're watching UML Fall 2021. My name is Proof, and this is Unified Premiere.
Yeah, we are going to be getting ready for Game 3 draft, which should be starting fairly shortly. I'm curious to see. I know that OES started banning that Jarvan after they let
Mhm.
it through. I'll be curious to see if we're going to see the similar strategy pulled out for VTB team, because that Jarvan looked really freaking good, man. That was a very scary boy.
Yeah. Definitely. I think I wouldn't want. I mean, here's they have so many things to ban now on the red side. It's kind of like a deja vu for them, right? What do you ban at this point? What do you got to ban as CC? Because at that side, you completely kind of lost it. It was such a lopsided game. So now they have to come up with something that works.
Yeah, and you have to be able to, adapt after how poorly things kind of went there.
Hmm.
Just I think really early on too, the aggression from the Jarvan on the Evelyn, the Echo not able to help with that, and then because Evelyn fell behind,
Hmm.
Jarvan got the first jump on that Echo in the mid lane and kind of snowballed from there. I
Hmm.
kind of want to see if there's maybe a kind of match head to head with that early game aggression in the jungler position. I maybe Desire goes for something a little bit different this time around, but we'll have to see as we are finally into the picks and bans.
All right. Well, let's not waste any more time here. Let's kind of also talk a little bit about what we might want to see here, right? Because I think
Mhm.
VTB definitely they went. I would say they didn't crack under pressure second game, but they did kind of lose those early leads, whereas they didn't have to, right? So on the blue side, it might be different. It could be still whoever's playing on the red side is just has a curse over their head. I mean, I don't know what it feels like about today. Like everybody who steps on the red side just has such a lopsided game. And I want to speak to some of these players to have their reaction about it sometime. But definitely seeing kind of the priorities still the same bands are kept. That's something interesting to watch as well.
Yeah, the Shen Ziggs still being taken away. Kindred was another ban that we did see kind of taken off the board for overrate, not letting him
Mhm.
get that champion. But I mean, I feel like the Jarvan has to be kind of added into that. The Amumu looks to be what they're going to ban away. I'm a little surprised by this because this is one of those meta picks, right? Like you can
Mhm.
take that as your first pick if you want and ban away both the Kindred and the Jarvan. But VTB, they don't want it. They don't want to deal with it. So they ban it away. Either the Kindred or the Jarvan will get through unless VTB first pick them.
Yeah, it just looks like the is going to be banned again. The Tom, that's a pretty stable ban. As you know, Cali Cartel, they're like, okay, we went through it once. We do not want to go through it again.
Yeah.
Please, no. So now you see the Azir. There's a bit of a change
Okay.
here on the side of VTB. They're saying that, okay, this was our problem and we're going to eradicate it.
See, that's the thing, though. I don't feel like the Azir was the issue. I feel
Mhm.
like the Azir got the good end of that issue, but I feel like the issue ultimately was the Jarvan. Although it
Mhm.
looks like Cali Cartel don't want to give the opportunity for BTB to get that dragon, and they're gonna or that Jarvan and
Yeah.
ban that away. Kindred is available for overrate if they want to
Cool.
get him on that. Like we said, that is his champion. That is the champion he
Yeah.
has by far the most experience on. And
Mhm.
VTB have left it up, and I don't believe Desire is going to play it.
Why is that? I mean, wouldn't you definitely want to play your comfort pick at this point, at this stage, when a lot is at stake? So maybe still, that's kind of the discussion maybe they're having. I could be wrong there. But Thousand Eyes, again, we see another karma draft. And this time VTB is going to be piling that one.
Well, and that's also just kind of the meta of this series
That's what it is,
specifically.
yeah.
Because these teams both have clearly done well with the karma. They have favored the karma. So it just is going to slowly move up and up and up in that priority in the draft. They want to make sure that it is not picked away from them this time now that they know Cali Cartel will run it. So they
Mhm.
take it away early on. The Ezreal is going to be on for BTB if they want it, because the MF, and it looks like it might be a Braum pickup here
Yo,
alongside it.
don't trip me out. My favorite champion is actually Braum. Even my Discord profile is me as Braum, redrawn, recreated. I'm just gonna say, like, this guy has the best quotes. Very fun to play if you're not playing in this season, obviously, right? But definitely in the 5v5 has agency. I think this Braum, alongside with alongside with, did they actually switch out their ADC here? Not really too sure if they did, but yeah, Braum and Misfortune, definitely a classic duo. What do you think about that if you're gonna balance that against the Ashe and the Karma here over that 2v2?
Yeah, so I mean, once again, Cali Cartel with the presence in that lane. This is a much stronger early game though than the Ezreal ever was for BTB, and now the Kindred is being hovered by Piggy. If they want to lock it in, they're gonna have to do it now because it will be a band away. The set being picked up once again. BTB, they are capable of flexing that. We have seen them take it in that mid lane, and it'll be kind of up to what they really want to do based on what Cali Cartel lock in.
Level 1 invade, maybe? Level 1 hello? Are we going to get some invade? That could be something they could fancy with, because we did see the first series. They just all huddled up and they went for an invade. And this, you should technically treat this as a best of one at this point. And now CC Piggy with the Hecarim pick, definitely throwing kind of a wrench in the sink here against that comp. Definitely Hecarim has backline accessibility with the onslaught of the shadows. But what do you make of the whole thing right now? VTB versus CC when everything is on the line.
I mean, right now, CC are once again looking for these team fights here. A lot of press R competition here. The Hecarim, the Misfortune. Yeah. There is a little bit of anti-synergy here with the Hecarim and the MF. There is the possibility that Hecarim goes in, fears everybody away from the MF ultimate, and that kind of falls flat. Meanwhile, though, I'm really curious to see how Tree is going to do with this Ashe, because it's the first time we've seen him tonight on something other than the Ezreal, and the Ezreal has struggled in lane just against these power pick AD carries. So getting something for Tree that is going to be more pressure oriented, something that can kind of go toe to toe with that MF, as long as Braum is not tagging her, I'm curious to see how that bot lane matchup is going to work out.
Yeah, we're about to find out. Although this could be a set mid, we're not too sure yet. There's still a possibility of that top side Yoshishi playing the Jax, right? So that on the side of Cali Cartel, obviously, right? So they haven't locked in their top laner just yet. We're talking a little bit about these picks. The Ziggs was banned, and I think now you see, I don't know if they're actually going to go with Teemo here. They're just hovering at this point. Yeah, the cannon maybe is a possibility here. What would you say about this compared to the other champions in the pool? Because definitely Yoshishi could in turn played right now the Jax we were talking about.
I think what they're worried about is the Jax has a lot of counters. There's a lot of lanes you don't want to deal with the Jax in, and you definitely want to make sure you are picking Jax into something that is compatible. So right now they have to pick the cannon. They have to pick something that can just gracefully lose or, win decently, something that they can play around with. But now the Irelia being locked in, we still don't know who's going where right now. I think that Fiddle may end up being the lock in here because they need some AP, but the Lilia will be what they finally lock in there. They needed the AP. They've got at least a little bit, but it is definitely not a lot.
Yeah, I can't imagine her going anywhere besides the jungler here. I could be wrong, though. Nahor, I mean, that's a pick. But yeah, the support here on the side of CC definitely could pick the Nautilus here. Again, it has been their favorites. I mean, sorry, they did pick the
Braum. So
yeah, so I don't know.
Probably going to be a mid laner, and it is going to be the Akali. So
yeah,
that
they call it locked and loaded. So I don't know what you make of that one. The Akali, is this a trend we're seeing for the mid laners playing on assassins now? The Echo was the second game, and now we see the Akali. So interesting change in pace, nonetheless.
I mean, so Zevil was the one playing the Echo last game. So now it is Piggy playing the Akali this time around.
They're passing it around.
I'm curious though where these lane matchups are going to end up actually, because there's the possibility to flip either of these laners into the mid lane, right? Like you could put Set mid and Irelia top, vice versa. You could put Kennen top and the Akali mid.
Kennen top and Akali mid.
Yeah, producer has confirmed that. So I actually did not catch where the VTB laners were going, as it's Set top and Irelia mid. So that actually, I think, works out really well for Cali Cartel, because I don't think Akali really ever wants to deal with Set. That is not a lane matchup that is going to be fun or good for her. But against the Irelia, there's a lot of prio to be had there, not only in the kind of like really early game where Irelia has to wait for those minions to get low. Akali can dodge out the stun really well with the E and re-engage afterwards. So I feel like Akali's going to have a pretty solid time against this Irelia.
Well, we'll see. You know, definitely Irelia, one of those champions that has been seeing a lot of play recently. And now let's just wait to see how this game are going to pan out, essentially. So welcome back. This is going to be the third game. A minor league, of course, Unified Premier Virginia Tech B team versus Cali Cartel. And we are at the outset of the match. We're about to find out what they're gonna do here. Obviously, let me do the honors though for one last time to introducing myself and my colleague. I am joined here on the casting desk with Thousand Eyes. My name is Proof, and we're excited to be here to see this game kind of festering and now to the third in the match, to the third game to set this one in a nice tone.
Right now, there is no ward in this bush, so they are not aware, actually, that Cali Cartel are moving through here. Braum has that potent level 1.
Exactly. They went for it. They went for that level 1 invade.
They know it now.
Yep, they got spot Autumn. Might even have to burn the flash here if... yep, gonna burn the flash a little bit quickly. In that tri-bush, she goes. She's taking a little bit of a poke, but nothing to make of it yet. It is 0-0 so far, and they didn't find that kill nonetheless, right? They still got that flash, so which is kind of a big deal. A small victory nonetheless.
Yeah, they find the flash. A lot of wards already used here. 2 people warded over that wall at the same time, and that ward is not really going to provide a lot of vision. So Akali not going to have that vision in the mid lane here. Obviously, they won't know who it was that placed those wards, but there's definitely going to be less vision to take care of this Lilia. But Hecarim should be the one who is pushing the issue here early on.
Let's see what they make of it. The Braum here has to kind of respect the poke a little bit at least, right? You don't want to be taken too low and then having to end up fighting with 1/3 of your HP. Little Piggy Man in the mid lane. We've been seeing a lot of the mid lane dynamic come down to the skill and the matchup between Little Piggy Man and Zevil, and sometimes one wins, the other loses, and I think that's the one that dictates who's winning the team fight. I mean, I'm not a superstitious person, but definitely seeing the matchup going a long way for both of these mid laners, it just sets the tone for the entire game, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, so far it's just going to be, you know, a little bit of a farm fest until a little bit more of those levels come through. Irelia and Akali both really needing more levels in their main abilities to be terribly useful. But with this Hecarim, there are some opportunities here. Bot side is a possible gank here, because if you do get that Braum onto the Ashe, you can lock her down pretty easily. And topside, Yoshishi is shoving very hard, trying to keep this pressure up and make sure that HP Gamer is not able to farm out anytime soon.
Yeah, the trades are definitely favoring Yoshishi there over the top side. Unbreakable used to at least be able to zone in and route their way into CSing, and Tree takes some damage there. Oh, and the Q lands too. Those are important abilities if the only thing you got for yourself as a Braum is that for the range, and you see a possible early on bloodshed. Not getting... Oh, wait a minute. The Shuriken does land, and this could be first blood. Flashes used, and that will be Little Piggy Man's way into this game, setting up a nice precedent off to a running start.
Yeah, and once again, the lack of presence in this jungle here. Every time Desire's been playing a jungler that needs that protection to farm up early on, and every time Over 8 has been in Desire's face, making sure that they are able to get a first blood. But we did see a first blood happen last time, or sorry, in game 1, and that did not end up doing a whole lot for that team. It is just really going to be on to Lil Piggy Man to make something of that first blood goal.
Maybe, just maybe, Lil Piggy Man breaks the red side curse here. We're about to find that Irelia. Taken kind of low. Has double buffs on the Akali. You don't want to fight this. Zevil does not find the stun, although she's going to flash out of that one, but here comes Override. And that might be it. Back against the wall. Down goes Zevil. 2-0 CC.
I'm just really confused at what that was there, because that really made no sense to me. I feel like Zevil hit a point where he was just like, all right, I'm dead. I'm just going to farm these minions and die.
Yeah, going out with a bang.
Very confusing to me.
Very confusing. And now no summoners available on the Irelia. And there is a small advantage with the TP. A little Piggy Man could look for a bot lane play, although it's not looking that good right now. Maybe a possible top lane player, right? You do have that roam ability when you do get the prior like this with the TP. And we'll see, though. It is 2-0. Not a lot of gold lead in their favor yet, so they don't want to overcommit maybe here and end up making a huge mistake.
Possibly not, but I mean, right now this Akali is out the gate very strong. Gonna hit that level 6 point sooner too, so keep your eyes on that. And if Zevil actually respects that early level 6, or if that is another death, because that could be very game changing if Akali can just go in level 6 and get a kill.
Yeah, we'll see the level 6 advantage. See the top lane. Here comes Desire on the rotation, kind of shadowing towards that top side a little bit. Maybe if something breaks out, the Hecarim is around the corner too, so we might see a 2v2 happening, but that is maybe not about to happen. Here we go. Tree utilizing the mana quite well against the Misfortune, but is eating up those Qs from the Braum. And I don't know if you are pausing there as well, but this could get bloody. Tree, one more auto attack from that Braum pass. Here comes the TP that we talked about. That Kali utilizes the TP opportunity. And now the Roman for Rome. Zevil is there as well. But who's going to get the kill first? Zevil is around the corner. The little Piggy does not quite secure that kill. Flashes are down. Autumn is in a bit of a mix-up there. Zevil gets stunned. Oh no, you don't want to go down like that. Little Piggy Man is around the front. Is sidestepping that, and one more auto attack should do that, but it gets rooted up, and Tree trying to find that damage. Unbreakable coming in clutch there as well. Around the corner, you see over 8. Yeah, he's around there, maybe passing it for a 4-man dive.
They want this, and I think Tree and Autumn are not aware. Now they're pinging it out like he could be, and there he is.
There it comes, the fast and furious Overraid under the turret, and there it is. One goes down, and the second Overraid is going to be traded, so that's a 1 for 2, but the overarching thing was it's a 1 for 3 with the Irelia if you count that 1 and 2. So 5-1, 12K versus 10K. That's 2K gold in the pockets of CC, and they're balling out right now.
And so much of it is onto this Akali, who is capable of taking over the game with that lead. So now the question is, VTB, how do you keep this Akali in check? What do you do? How do you adapt to that? Because right now, she can do whatever she wants, and she will probably kill you. I think the only person she would not be able to actually kill is maybe this set, depending on how the Haymaker is used. So this is very scary for BTB out the gate. They do get that kill onto the Ashe, but I mean, Irelia from behind is not very useful.
Yeah, Irelia from behind, you rarely want to see that. You know, kind of a little bit of a tilt there going on, I might imagine. Zevil having to roam a bot lane without the TP and still getting out-traded and out-damaged, does not find the kills. A great usage of the Unbreakable and the great usage of the Exhaust there by Nahor.
Oh, wow.
Now you see HP Gaming taking very low on that trade. Kennen, you know, is getting away with murder here on the trades, but here comes Overraid. They're going to collapse on Desire. Yeah, speaking of murder, some stuff are easier said than done, but Lil Piggy A lot of movement there. Use a lot of resources. Gonna get stunned up. The little piggy man in the shroud. Gonna get away. They can't find the kill. I mean, Desire just has so much movement speed at that point with the flash down as well. Gonna bank for it.
Yeah, and it is worth mentioning this is the second time. Oh wait, fight bot. Never mind.
Level
They
6
baited me.
is yeah, but you know, it is an easy bait too, because I might have imagined that Knight of the Z would have taken that bullet time. They are level 6 compared to level 5, so could be beneficial for them.
It was worth trying for an engage. You know, you only get one time where you have access to ult and they don't. So,
Yeah, true.
What I do want to talk about though is Lil Piggy Man has actually, that is the second ultimate now that I have seen this Akali miss.
Oh.
And that's a little concerning, you know, going forward. They missed the kill on Autumn, which is why they ended up having to go for that dive. And they missed the kill on that Lilia. So that's kind of a couple of opportunities that have been blown by Lil Piggy Man.
Yeah, we'll see if that's going to be the case here. She does have her ultimate in just a little bit, but not in this fight, as Override is carrying a lot of that damage, but is going to end up biting the Dust Zevel. Going to flash out of that one, and Little Piggy Man is under the turret, and Desire is getting hungry for that. Not going to get that kill, but that's 1-0 now without Override. That's a bullet time, and that's an easy peasy pick up in the bot lane. Not of the Z with the second one in the game.
It was starting to look a little bit good there for BTB, and they just kind of threw it all away by just overstaying their treat. I don't know what the idea there was. The burst from MF with PTA proc is pretty good, man. You can't just walk up there and stand in it. But also Desire getting caught in that mid lane, trying to do something against Lil Piggy Man. I once again, BTB just kind of getting caught out where they don't need to, and disrespecting the amount of damage that Cali Cartel can provide.
Definitely underestimating. They kind of miscalculated a lot of that, right? The Cali Cartel squad looking real good now, securing the first Drake in the game, which was the Ocean. Now 10 minutes into the game, you do see quite a bit of a gold lead in their favor. About that 2K mark, and I think in 11 minutes that goes a long way if you use it quite well. Obviously, like you said, if the Akali is not utilizing that to her advantage, getting those kills, putting herself more ahead, then it could be a problem. Here comes the ultimate. Let's see if she's gonna get this one. Is it gonna be a bingo? There it is, and Overrate picks that one up. A little bit of a, I don't know if that was BM or what, but
there's nothing funnier than when Hecarim just kills somebody. Oh, okay. Sleep burn.
Braum. Yeah, Braum is really clutch here, eating up a lot of those abilities. The arrow does not have flash used to get away. The glacial fissure as well. Add on top of that is going to be a clean getaway. They break free, but wait a minute.
Here.
HP gamer. Uh-oh, you want to respect it. He goes flash in, and the exhaust is used. And now the showstopper finding the target. Desire getting low. Here comes Kennen with the TP play. Huge ultimate onslaught of the shadows to the back line. Finds one. Desire taking low. He'll go down as well. That's a double for Overrate. He's making it rain on Summoner's Rift right now.
Yeah, now Overrate also getting huge. Now are even able to stay alive through all of that. So at the end of the day, Cali Cartel, they lose nothing off that. That is just a free win with the Ashe roaming up too. Look at all of this gold that Knight of the Z gets. This is an insanely huge win for Cali Cartel. Not just from the fight, but also everything else that they get around the map. They're gonna get this first tower. They're possibly going for this Rift Herald, but I don't know if they have the health for it.
Okay, here we go. This kind of looks a little bit dicey. HP Gamer overextending there, allowed the Haymaker, trying to find something for himself. Desires in the back line. They cannot find anything. They lose one. In fact, Little Piggy Man might be the retaliation. There you go. They find one so far, but instantly Trey, the shut down goes to the Desire here. But such a prolonged fight. Autumn, I don't know if they can get out of this one alive, and they will. That was a 1-4-2 in favor of CC nonetheless.
Yeah, the TP from the Akali coming behind. And while Lil Piggy Man did die, and that is fairly significant, it also bought so much time that while Set was trying to keep everybody busy, nobody felt safe to walk through the Akali Shroud without getting blown up. So she did her job. Akali did her job, even though she just died. The pressure was there to allow for the team to take down Set.
And the Set, I mean, hasn't had a good play right now, right? Try to go for the flash E, gets the flash from the other side, doesn't find the steady targets to show stop right to the back line. Ideally, you might want to, you know, bring Braum over because he's kind of like a tankiest member at this point. Neither the Zed doing a lot of bad damage in the mid lane. You see 1v1 breaking out in the top lane. You see Yoshoshi eating up that haymaker. Now the showstopper will be the outplay solo ball. Never mind. It really was a shot in the dark at that point. HP Gamer just bites the dust there. Arrow. No, it's not looking good for Nahor. There are a lot of fire. The Glacial Fissure, hello? Goes on the wrong side there. But not even needed to get away.
I don't even know if that was the wrong side. I think that was just used to make sure they could not chase Nahor there. And
you got those
did the job.
plays.
Nahor's very tanky and hard to take down at this point. So they really tried hard for that engage. Desire burning the flash to do so. And once again, not getting anything out of it as tower plates are now down. So these towers will fall very quickly.
I'm liking this Braum pick. I'm liking this Misfortune duo. They are ahead so much. They have so much agency in this game, and it's not even funny. 126 CS on Misfortune. Now, bullet time! Speaking of the devil, does not find the kill, though. Unlucky. However, it is going to be the turret, so they do find something at the end of the day.
And it's turret. Oh, boy. Top lane.
There we go, TP play as well. This is a 1v2. HP Gamer buying enough time for Zebel to get there. Now Ionian used their nice ultimate, but 1-for-1 nonetheless on Yoshishi. Gonna rocket. Felt his way out of that one. Back to safety under the turret. Zebel gonna dive, and that is gonna be a huge shutdown. I guess that's worth it. I mean, I don't know what kind of, you know, at the end of the day, you do have 700 gold shutdown on you, and that is gonna go to the carry mid laner, Zebel. Could get maybe
sorely
something for them.
There.
Yeah.
Sorely needed for Zebel there. And I was going to say, oh, they're going for a gank on this top side right as the dragon is spawning. Maybe look for something off of that, get the kill and immediately run down. But unfortunately, it feels like Set is the kryptonite to Cali Cartel because they just completely just try to shove everything into the Set. And he just stays alive. He's tanky enough to hold out through it. Holds that grid shield for the perfect time, and Zebel showing up in the nick of time to clean things up at the end of the day. But because of that and the reset, Cali Cartel are able to get this second dragon, so they are keeping their pressure up for this soul, as it is going to be a mountain soul available.
Mountain soul is pretty decent, not gonna lie there. Not gonna lie, I want to be on that side where stacking up the Drakes, stacking up the turret counts, 2-0. You know, CC, they have a solid grip over this game so far. 15 kills only to 5, and they're finding themselves up almost 6k gold lead at this point. You know, they must be feeling great at this point.
Yeah, and you can see even Lil Piggyman, instead of going for the Oblivion Orb, going for the Bramble Vest. So this is going to be a slightly beefier Akali, I guess. I actually kind of like this because you're looking at Set and Irelia, both heavily auto attack dependent champions, as well as, you know, just the very physical damage based. So they are going to be getting kind of both the bad ends of the Bramble Vest there. Only really doesn't help against that Lilia.
Here we go. Nothing to make of it so far. 5-15 again, but here comes a side lane fight. Little Piggy Man does not want to go all out. HP game over the top side. Might get dived under the turret, and you see Yoshishi around the corner. They're
thinking about it.
Yeah, they're really thinking about it. Are they going to go for it is the question, though. Oh.
That is the Zed. Could get ulted.
Oh, there it is. Onslaught of the Shadows. They do find this Set. They do zone him out. The arrow was a little bit too late there. Nothing to come of it. And now it's going to be an easy take on the top side turret as well.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been good there, but HP Gamer had to flash in. Still could not get the ult off. And unfortunately, it does go down. So that is the big ticket. The big scary set is down for a couple of seconds, and they should be able to get some more pressure on this top side, as they're just going to go in, get vision all in the jungle here before this Baron spawns at a minute 20. Herald is going to be used mid, and that is now exactly what Cali Cartel want.
Yeah, unless Zevil says otherwise,
Big
he's going
ult.
to use the ultimate. Big ult, maybe it was more of a defensive than anything else. The arrow is not there for Ashe as she used it earlier, but maybe they could slow them down enough to chug him low enough for the finish as Zevil goes in, does not find anything. HP Gamer still in the front line again, gets caught out. The haymaker thrown down. Little piggy man in the back line. Shroud, the showstopper, interrupted. No good there. And Overraid finds one as well. So they're making it rain at this point. Like, you know, you don't want to die like that. You don't want to go like that. 19-5. What an astonishing team fight that was in favor of CC.
Massive, in fact. Little Piggy Man, I want to call this one out because this was a really cool play. Hit the E on the set, started going back in onto set as the haymaker would have killed.
No, not like this. Nahar is just at this point. I don't know about that. Is it worth it to die over a couple of CS?
I mean, was trying to get Yoshishi there, trying to get the kill, but unfortunately Braum was there to save the day.
No vision though, so it's kind of
I mean, I want to get this point out though, because like as Little Piggy Man was flying back into the set, the haymaker used the ult to cancel the E onto somebody else and dive away from the haymaker just barely to survive.
That
so
was
a really, really outstanding mechanical play on that end. And honestly, from that point on, after not getting the kill, they finally get that set again and then go forward and get the rest of these kills pretty easily. As now this cannon is big, this Hecarim is massive. 7-3 and 6 with that Triforce ready. Zhonya's being worked on across these AP threats. I don't know what VTB are going to be able to do going forward, because these threats are not only putting out massive amounts of damage, but they're incredibly hard to kill.
They are incredibly hard to kill. I also want to point out the fact that now we're actually seeing Little Piggy Man on something more useful than the Singe. It's kind of night and there, right? It's kind of a small progression towards this ultimate form that Little Piggy Man is. It was Azir last game, and now it's the Akali. And I think has way more agency than just playing on that Singe that we're seeing kind of a result in their favor. You see now, some fights might happen. Oh, that's the narrow connecting clean. That might be Braum going down. Unbreakable used. Zevil invested further there with the ultimate. They're going to go all out. And Nahor, let's try to slice up with the Q landing there. Now Glacier Fish coming over the wall. Bullet time. We'll zone them out a little bit though. The Little Piggy Man exhausted, but does that matter at the end of the day on the Shroud? Buying some more time. No Zonia's available, my friend. Might go down the onslaught of the shadows, turning things around. Zevil taking it very low. The set died there. Solo kill for I'm Yoshoshi. Little Piggy Man, they're doing a lot of damage, a lot of harm inflicted on VTB as they're all taken very low. They're going to disengage on the back of that. Wow.
Yeah, a lot thrown around, but nobody ends up going down. Both teams kind of feeling the reset angle here and looking to be just trying to get back, prep for this Baron and make sure that does not go anywhere. This is like, okay, Cali Cartel don't get anything out of that technically, but it's still them exerting their pressure, because at the end of the day, they can shove that wave in. Kennen is doing work on that top side in the meantime. And now Cali Cartel can set up this Baron and basically force VTB to walk into them to contest it.
See, a lot of things to watch out for here. It is a 1-for-1, and I think more than 10k gold around that mark is anybody's game at that point, right? Unless they make a grave error on the side of Cali Cartel, then Virginia Tech B team could maybe find their resurgence, but at this point, 23-minute Baron take. You see Desire trying to do something here.
Oh no!
They know how urgent this is, and just gonna bite the dust. Showstopper finding some damage to the back line, and Nahor taken very low. The Haymaker not finding the target, and down goes HP Gamer. Here comes Autumn with the movement speed. The Shuriken does land. The follow is there, and that is a clean kill. A double for Little Piggy Man as they do take, Cali Cartel do take the Baron. Another 1v1. Oh, finally, the stopwatch, rather, the Zonia is going to be used. Zevel fancying herself for a 1-for-1. Oh, at this point, just gets outclassed, and that's the ace. Cali Cartels are literally steamrolling their way into victory, possibly at this 25-minute mark.
Yeah, and the amount of armor that is built on this Akali makes that Irelia unable to duel her. So nothing is ever going to burn through this Akali, at least from the Irelia and Set side. And that's really all you got, too. Like, you got a kill on Set and Irelia and Ashe, 2 kills on Lilia. Everything else has just been failure on the side of VTB. They've not been able to get any pressure. They lost their jungle early on, and they never got that tempo back as Cali Cartel prepping a dragon 2 minutes in the future. A little bit early on this one, but they want this Mountain Soul. They want to lock that down. They want to get these mid inhibitors down so they can keep that pressure on, and they're not letting up anytime soon.
Yeah, this game is no longer a game of inches. It's rather the macro play. It feels like the BTB lineup, they're getting suffocated from the vision, their own jungle, their objectives, and it just looks like a clean take of that inhibitor turret, which in turn rolls out in that inhibitor take as well. You know, nobody could contest. How do you even salvage as VTB in this game? Like, how do you salvage the losses?
I don't know if you do, because I think you might just lose here.
Oh, one last hurrah could be it. Showstopper brings Nate to the front line, but here comes a bullet time, and that's not even needed because Hecarim gonna find one. The arrow gonna connect clean on the 80 carry. You want to land that, but it's still, you really can't find anything else. That is going to be a man now. Little Piggy Man is down, but here comes the shutdown. So still, they are finding things. 2 for 2 so far. So it is a 3v3. They did kind of prolong this game a little bit. Nahor taken very, very low. He will drop. Zevel finds that kill, and Yoshishi gonna get out of that one clean.
That really should have been a way to close the game for Cali Cartel. They should have been able to push that, but unfortunately, they graded a little bit too far into the fountain, and the fountain has a lot to say about when you get on its turf. So Little Piggy Man does die off of that, and things go haywire from there. VTB have a little bit of presence now, as it is going to be the back from Yoshishi. Dragon spawning in 15 seconds. I feel like Cali Cartel, they need to run there now, but they still may be a little bit too late, depending on if BTB go for this immediately.
Both teams know how important this objective is, so maybe another fight might break out here, depending on if they're going to go for the steal or not, if Desire is going to get shredded instantly. And now that is going to be the engage. Little Piggy Man uses the ultimate, goes all out. Zonia's right into the back line. I don't know if I like this one, but still does find the kill. Trade it though. So still, it's a 1 for the in favor CC. They are finding the damage, and it's pouring on in. VTB are taken very low, and they're trying to run away. Tree there. Is he gonna dive by the Rob? Finds that Q right to the face, says good night. 31-9, CC, they might end the game here.
Yeah, they do not need the Mountain Dragon. They don't need the Soul. All they need is the Nexus, and they're marching down to it right now.
They are marching down to it now. Of course, we saw a lot of team fights going in favor of CC, but it is not out of the question if VTB could do something here. The Irelia, no, finally survives. That would look very, very close. Knight of the Zed, still not fancying for an all-out 3v3 here. They're just gonna back away, maybe fight another day, but a huge TP play. Zevel to the backline, finds the 80 carry. And now you see Desire goes golden, finding some more time. Ottoman finds the pokes. Are they gonna translate that to a kill? Not maybe today. The TP is gonna maybe force him back out, but this could be a double-edged sword. TPing right into that front line. HP Gaming. Haymaker not gonna find quite anybody. Little Piggy Man finds one. And now here we go. Fight, an interesting fight breaking out, and that's gonna be a quick double. Little Piggy Man says, you guys are not going to win today, but Civil, what is this? A huge bloodshed, but a triple for Little Piggy Man nonetheless. Tree goes down, Onslaught of the Shadows going to make sure that happens.
It's gonna end sometime.
Sometime tonight, man. They got this game in a deadbolt at this point.
Oh my goodness. Just crazy fighting over and over again. Cali Cartel just not giving up and constantly just overextending themselves. We'll see if they can finally close it out here, maybe.
Glacial Fissure not really connecting. Yeah, this looks a little bit sloppy, not gonna lie. A little bit sloppy by CC. This should have ended 3 minutes ago, but VTB, they're not going down. They're unkillable, essentially. They're getting huge shutdowns. Oh, man, this is so 10K gold. I mean, it was more than 10K, now dwindling back to 10K. So a back and forth that we didn't need to see, but still, we're seeing it.
The amount of shutdowns that VTB have just gotten is huge, actually. Like, do I really think VTB has a shot getting back into this? Not really, but at the same time, that is, once again, opening up opportunities. We talked about it in some of the other games tonight, but like, you don't want to give your enemy chances to get back into the game. And when you play risky like this, when you do stuff like, hey, let's end the game and have our Hecarim also solo Earth Dragon for some reason while we're ending the game, I don't understand some of these calls from Cali Cartel.
And just giving a reason back to, I guess, Virginia Tech here to maybe find something, and they could possibly get this Baron. Now ultimates are down. There it is, a bullet time, and that is going to be Baron secured over VTB. They're losing their lineup. A Baron for an ace is what finally going to put a final nail in the coffin for this game. Like we always say, or like I always say, battles are lost in the same spirit in which they are won. And I guess for VTP, this third game presents itself a little bit too much for them to handle.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it, but finally Cali Cartel, after a bit of a sloppy end here, they're going to be able to hit the Nexus and win this one out.
And there it is for our Yumi L between the game VTB versus Cali Cartel. We got our victorious ones who stand are going to be Cali Cartels. Hopefully they're celebrating here. That was a close one, honestly. It went all the way to the third game there. And Thousand Eyes, if you had to summarize what we just saw throughout the stream, throughout the show, how would you sum it up?
I feel like there was some high points and there were definitely some sloppy points here, because I think both teams have some things to go back and look on and say, okay, these are just straight up mistakes. Like, objectively, there is nothing that you are doing that is being helpful here. There's nothing that is, accomplishing anything useful compared to the risk that you are putting on yourself here by doing this. And I think all around, just a lot of sloppy play, even in this last win here. Just Cali Cartel just kept kind of throwing gold back into into VTB's pockets, and I just can't grasp what the idea is for it.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly I mean, they didn't go out without a fight, right? There was a possibility for them to come back, but obviously they just died, all of them, in an ace for a Baron, right? So they got the Baron, but you're not going to have it useful on the members if they're all dead. So I guess that was the closing chapter for them for the third game. But definitely it was kind of a tug of war. We felt that, right? But definitely wouldn't say it was a close game every time we saw it. Definitely one mistake led to another, and accumulated over time, and then it just ended up exploding in either side, right? We saw that early game was really, really good for VTP somewhat, right? And then they just ended up being the Cali putting a dead stop to that right off the back of the Desire going down in that fashion.
Yeah, just kind of all over the place and not really seeming like there was a concrete plan. I think from either team, I get why the Baron call was made, because you are trying for desperation there. You are that far behind. You just got fed a bunch of gold. You buy items and say, all right, this is our last hurrah. We got to go for this. We got to try and get something and kind of turn things around. If you get that Baron and you are able to go even or win that fight by a little bit, that can be massively game changing, and that's really your only option back in the game.
Yeah, I'm
So
afraid.
I get that, but unfortunately,
Mhm.
just it was a little bit too much too late, and VTB end up losing the series.
Man, that was some series to watch, let alone cast. And thank you for all the viewers who tuned in. And thank you for the casting and the production that goes on to make these happen. And obviously, this was Yumi L Fall 2021. A lot more content like this coming up this week. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow the channel. Make sure you also following the Twitter. With that said, my pleasure. My name is Proof, and I'm joined here on the casting this with Thousand Eyes. You want to say any few last words there? Thousand Eyes.
I mean, just be good to each other, people.
Hey, there it is. So good night, everybody. Hope you have a pleasant rest of the evening, and then we'll see you next time.